3, 2, 1.
Mark. It's like listening to yourself with a delay when you're trying to speak.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
Like,
The mark, like you kind of stretch it out as everybody else like comes in.
Can I say it's really lucky none of us are called Mark, otherwise this would really get annoying.
But you can always use a different thing for a mark. So you could go 3,
Sponge.
2, 1, jank.
3,
Oh, yeah.
2, 1. Swansea.
3, 2, 1, Swansea?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I'd rather have a bowl of Swansea.
3, 2, 1, Swansea.
I'm trying to start in just a second. I'm just waiting, just giving it a couple of seconds to try and calm my demeanour. Hello, welcome to the Janky-B-Cast. I'm your host, Rhys, and with me are Sam and Foley. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello?
I knew that one of you tries to do that every fucking episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, Swansea? No,
That's a joke that doesn't make sense now.
No.
Okay, time for my random bum fluff. I've been into limeade recently.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
What's that?
It's like lemonade, but with limes.
I thought you meant it was like a festival or something. Like, I went to Limeade.
No, I've been into
so
it.
Yeah, it's
I
near
like drinking
Swansea.
limeade. It's in Swans. Fuck off. You're fucking swans.
I just go to Swansea to try it.
I get it from my local B&M.
Ah.
It's just limeade. I just get a 2-litre bottle for £1.
Is it nice?
I like it. It's real tasty. I consider it very drinkable, and by that I mean you pour a glass,
That's pretty good.
and then you finish it, and you go for another swig, and you've already finished it, and then you're like, oh fuck, I've already finished it. I just poured that glass.
Nice.
Have you become quite addicted to this already?
A little bit,
A
but
little
it's
bit.
cheap and it's good. Nice.
That's what
Nice.
all addicts say.
Yeah.
Can you describe the
I know.
difference between it and lemonade?
Well,
please?
one taste of lime,
Right. Yeah. Go on. Which one's that?
that'd be the lemonade, and the
Okay.
lemonade tastes
Like
of lime as well.
Snozzberries.
Everything tastes of
Yeah.
limes. Turns out my tongue has been replaced by a lime.
Oh my.
What does that even mean?
Is that why they call us limeys?
Is that what they call a slimy?
Limeys.
Slimy
Oh, limeys.
limeys.
That's what they used to call the Brits, right?
Slimy
Jesus
limeys.
Christ.
Limeys.
Where life
Yep.
gives you lime.
When life
Mate,
gives you lime,
limeade.
eat lime.
I think it should be called limonade rather than limeade. Flows better.
It is just called limeade.
Oh.
Oh, got it. Oh,
There's no N in the middle.
is that the bar?
Yeah, it's
thing?
bar, which makes it even funnier because it means I get it at B&M bargains.
Oh.
I was debating whether or not to actually put that joke in the end, and I guess I have now. And no, my local is not in Swansea.
I have
I know,
Is it-
but I knew you were going to fucking mention it.
Is it near Swansea?
Yeah, it's just south of it.
Just
Like, are we fucking in the middle of the ocean? Next thing I've got written down is I had an ice cream recently, and it was like a Magnum-y type thing.
Right.
I finished eating it, and I put the stick and the wrapper into a different bin.
Oh,
And
no, whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa.
What do you mean? Like
You
in
had-
separate bins or
Did
just
you-
a different bin from your usual one?
just separate bins.
Okay.
So you put the stick and the wrapper in separate bins.
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Just because
Were you licking the
there were
stick though?
2 different bins. Wasn't it? I went to
Were they
different
next to
place.
each other?
But you didn't stand next to a bin, eat your ice
No.
cream. So
And put it in a different.
And then walk to a different bin?
I mean, I opened it by a bin, put
Right.
the wrapper in there, and put another one. The funny part is the fact that when I put the stick in the bin after eating it, I said out loud, "Ha ha ha! Star-crossed lovers, never to see the other again." And I got a weird look. So I was like,
Yeah, do you know what? I actually don't blame the people who says that by putting a stick in a bin. It's just what is
Fucking
where
weird
that-
mood.
what in your brain said I'm gonna say this after just doing a normal thing.
Nothing.
It's a-
I just said it. I didn't think of anything. I just said it, and then immediately went, "Ooh, that's a bit weird," and then walked away.
This would be such a better world if everyone did that sort of thing.
It would be.
Just
It would be
dramatic
far more
monologue for no
entertaining.
reason.
Just get everyone dramatically monologuing everywhere.
Just going, hold on. So
I do that all the time. Is the thing. Like, I'll be cooking like my tea for myself, but then like while I'm like making it, I'll just sort of like use whatever implement I'm using to cook with and just monologue to myself as an evil villain. Like, and you come to me in this time of need, and you ask for my assistance. I tell you no, boy. And I'll just do that.
I hope you're saying this into like a mirror. Just kind of blaming yourself for doing
Oh,
this.
you've got like a hand mirror while he's cooking.
Yeah!
It's just like moving the
Oh.
bacon about and then just holding this mirror up and just be like, "You question me."
It is
It's
like
just like-
such a Gollum thing to do. It's like a two-way conversation.
Oh.
You come to
Now,
me.
please, I'm not trying to hurt you. You should have thought of that before.
And you like raise and lower it so you get a different angle of your face to look more sinister.
That's amazing.
I bet he plays with the lights as well. Just to-
I haven't thought
Line,
about
walk
doing
across
any
the
of these
room, turn the
things.
lights off, walk back, next line.
you put your back to the stove, you got the fire in the background, you're like, you come to me. It's like you feel
In
like,
my domain.
it's like you're the
Like that.
devil.
I'm just imagining like your mum or something just sat in the background, like just sat there like eating cereal while you're doing this. So okay,
This guy wants to get some peace.
I'm used to this.
Just like whatever. He's just weird.
Just dialing a
Wonderful.
number. It's like, I would like to report my son, please. It's like you've done Jekyll and Hyde all of a sudden.
I just do it because I think it's entertaining. Anyway, we've gotten so far off track of me saying something weird by a bin.
This needs to be talked about though. The fact again, like you stick something in the bin,
The people
which you're
didn't
supposed
deserve
to,
to know.
but then you think it's an evil thing to do, so you start doing even more. Like which face?
I thought that when I brought this up, I'd say it and I would immediately move on.
What made you think this is something we're gonna gloss over? You put things
I
in the
don't-
bin, and they think this is such an evil moment. I'm gonna say this out loud, and then you end up laughing.
I didn't even think that. I just did it and then I left thinking, oh, that's a bit fucking weird.
I think it's probably the best thing you did. Otherwise, I would have called the cops. I think.
Whoops.
You're just like gloating over this bin. If you didn't leave.
Just staring at the bins like, you'll never see the other again.
Oh, no matter what you say, I won't change my mind.
It's like taking with a bin. You're like, you'll never see your partner again. You just like grab the bin and walk out.
Well, I like do the job of the bin man and just completely empty the bin and put a new bin bag in as well.
I think at least you're doing something helpful, I guess.
Here's my evil villain monologue and here's my good deed.
Just skips away.
You know. The film I sent to you last week, or not last week, last month, Foley. Do you remember I sent it to you via YouTube? Within the month between this episode and the last episode, it has been taken down.
Oh, that was lucky.
I know, there was no planning on that at all. And what makes it even more entertaining is this month, just by pure happenstance, I believe the series that they're doing, the new Amazon Prime series, is coming out this month or next month. So it's coming out shortly after doing it. Pure coincidence. I knew it was going to be a thing, but I didn't know it was coming out anytime soon, which is probably why it's been taken down, I would estimate.
That would want people to watch the Amazon. Like,
Yeah, and it's just like, well,
series.
take this one down and put your Prime one up.
Oh, that's a shame.
Similar concept. Mentioned at the end about the same writer for Yakuza and Like a Dragon. I looked into this. There are two people credited for writing the film. Neither of them are the one who wrote the game. One of them has a single credit, and it is only that film.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah,
right.
and the other one has loads of anime credits, which I guess makes sense. They're Japanese.
No, yeah, that
But
makes sense.
when I looked it up, I saw that there was a couple of anime things, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're going to be like sort of more modern-y popular ones. No, they've got like credits for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon.
Oh, so they're familiar with that world then, like the old anime.
Yeah, they're very well
Are
versed
they
with that.
all shows or are they like anime films?
No, these are shows, episodes. They were like listed for 4 different episodes. I got no idea which ones. I could look it up, but there's like 1 million of them. Sam, million?
Yeah, so recently I've been playing New Vegas, but also
Yes,
Million Monster
yes.
Militia.
Ooh,
It's a Million Monster Militia. It's got millions of monsters in it.
yes.
In a militia, theoretically.
What is this game?
Foley's so
Million-
taken aback.
Monster Militia.
What is this?
So imagine
Okay.
you have a militia and it's got 1 million monsters in it.
I'm already picturing it.
Yeah.
Right.
So picture this then. You boot the game up, right?
Oh, fuck
And
off!
it's
Not
got-
again!
Quirky and sinister music playing. But mostly
Oh,
quirky.
God.
It's like a bom bom, that sort of thing.
Right.
I don't
That
remember how
sounds
it goes.
quite
That's
that sounds
what you're
quite.
getting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
is it a
Oh,
trombone?
that's
Maybe that's
it.
what I'm thinking of. It reminds me of like Faulty Towers or something, but I think they have like classical music in there instead.
That is complete.
Yeah, it could be that
different
sort of
channel
thing. Yeah.
Interesting vibe. Okay.
So it's Faulty
Yeah.
Towers with millions of monsters. Okay.
Yeah. So you
Militia
got pixelated graphics, of course.
Yep.
You've got pixelated art. It's
Okay.
got pixelated font. Yep. There's an anarchist. They got a fleshy mohawk, and they're chucking a Molotov. That's on the
Oh.
bottom right. Yeah. I don't think it's supposed to be fleshy, but it looks like it. It's like it's a skin flap. It's not unpleasant.
It's
The
my
options
skin
menu,
flat
right?
mohawk.
So obviously you got the usual options in the settings, like play game, options,
Okay.
exit. Right. In options, right, it doesn't have motion blur settings. Doesn't have VSync settings. No resolution settings. No anti-aliasing. There's no shadow quality. There's no surround sound. There's no foliage quality. There's no ray tracing settings at all. There's no keybinds. No mouse sensitivity. There's no subtitles.
Did you Google what goes into like a normal main menu settings?
No, I booted
Or-
up Elden Ring and had a look.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
There's no subtitles as well. There is volume though.
Good. I wish I could turn your volume off.
Alright, bye bye.
Oh no.
Good. Yep. Alright, you start the game, and it's got like a Star Wars style scrolling intro without the music.
Oh, speaking of
And then the
Star
text going up.
Wars, can I just say
Oh yeah, go for it.
No.
the late James Earl Jones has passed away recently. I just want to say I hope he rests in peace. Nah, he was a great actor.
Yeah.
He was. Go ahead, Sam. Sorry, I just want to.
So, it's the year 2071. It's not quite cyberpunk yet, but it's
Give it
not
6
far.
years.
Yeah. So there's rubble and ash, and that is all that remains. There's titans, and they're rolling over America. This cannot be forgiven. So you got to just travel the country. You got to recruit a militia repeatedly, and free your country, because I guess we're Americans now, from the titans' rule, one city at a time. And that's my very abridged version of the intro rule. It's the campaign. After that, it's got a map of America, shockingly, and you start from somewhere in the northeast, which I'm guessing is Boston, because there's like a tagline on the main menu which says "Embark on the 75 city campaign from Boston to Boise." I don't know what Boise is, but I'm assuming it's another city.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, Boise. So you start there, and you complete one mission per area. You do one, and that unlocks other ones adjacent to it. Maybe one, maybe multiple. So it sometimes branches off, sometimes doesn't. And you work your way across just like that. You start off with a small number of available unit types. Humans, common humans, unlike me.
Yep.
And you unlock more as you go. So some missions, they've got
I'm
compulsory
not glossing
limitations.
past that. Unlike, not like me.
Yeah,
Comment.
what's that?
Fuck you. That's right.
All right.
Moving on.
Yeah, so some missions you get compulsory limitations on the unit types you can have. So only humans, only treants. That's not actually one of them. Each mission, it's got 8 or so boss encounters, sometimes like 12. Each of these bosses,
Jesus.
they've got meme names like Grendel with pants, or Bernie Sanders but with a U because he's on fire, or Bernie's dog.
Swansea.
There's no Swansea, probably because it's American. They don't know what swans are. And of course,
What does that mean? I don't know what swans are.
They already know eagles.
yeah, exactly. They're not bold enough.
Okay, fine, sure.
Yep.
I'll retract
So,
my statement.
Wonderful. The bosses are effectively the segments of each mission. Each boss, you load in, you check the settings, they're still the same. You see yourself, right? You're a little human figure. You're standing on a raised platform in the foreground, and you're looking down over a 5x5 grid, also with a couple of extra tiles that I just kind of tacked on the sides. And at the far end of the grid looms the boss. And the boss is like a humanoid guy, but big, or like a fucking dragon or something, or like an ogre. It varies a lot. And it seems kind of random which one's after the next, or after the last one. And yeah, so you got 9 hearts, and the boss has a health value which is numerical. Each time you get hit, that's 1 heart gone. Each time you hit the boss, you do a certain amount of damage. Shocking. So what you do is you hit the big green deploy button, and it deploys. It shoves 5 units onto the grid in a random position, so you don't get to choose at all. Most of the time on the first round, that's just 5 civilians. It's 5 of whatever your starting unit is. And then you hit attack, and your units attack. Bam! 5 whole damage, because each civilian does 1 damage. Wow. Neat. The boss then attacks you. You take 1 damage. Cool. You've got 9 attempts until you die. You then get a pop-up boop. You get to pick a new unit to add to your militia. You got 6 available options, and also 1 reroll per time this thing comes up. So you can reroll every time if you want. And that gives you new 6 ones to look at. each unit listed has a name, it's got a base damage, got a rarity, and it's got a description. And the description tends to contain lots of strange effects that it can have, which usually interact with other cards, or with other types of cards, or with itself, or with like things like how many times you've been hit, that sort of thing. And that's pretty neat. So you pick a unit in, it gets added to your militia from then on. I'm pretty sure it's like guaranteed to be deployed the next turn if you have more than the maximum number. Up until 25 of your units in your militia will be deployed randomly onto the board, and then you do that all again until the boss is dead or you're dead.
Right.
And then you do that whole thing again with the next boss until that boss is dead or you're dead. And then you do that whole thing again until you kill all the bosses. And then you do that again with the next mission. And then you do that again with the next mission.
Oh, it sounds really repetitive. Like,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it is. I'm not going to say that again. The scores that I've given this thing. Yeah, it's alright. Each mission, sort of, your militia completely resets from scratch. So you start with 5 or whatever units you have, and then you build up as you go along with it. And then if you fail, it resets again. You start from the beginning. Or if you succeed, it'll reset anyway for the next area. So it's all like self-contained. It's like a bunch of segmented roguelites or something. Very strange. Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that description.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Each unit has obviously got a type, like human or construct or demon or monster or beast or undead. Also items, terrain,
Yes.
like fire and water. Pretty neat. Each unit's got a base damage. That persists until it's altered by something. So each round it will start with that base damage, unless it gets increased or reduced or multiplied or whatever. And it's also got a bonus damage, which is for that round specifically. And those are usually influenced by various effects, either on that card or unit or on other ones. Pretty neat. And it's also got a damage modifier for that round. So that's the 3 ways you got damage on it. A lot of the units have effects that affect other units or other types of units, blah, 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 blah. So you can either spawn units, destroy units, increase their damage, multiply their damage, reduce their damage, and, set them on fire, that sort of thing. Like you can turn sheep into fire every round.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah. And obviously, because you don't get to position things on the board yourself, it's random. You're playing chance effectively, kind of stacking it. So statistically, over time, you'll get what you want. Obviously, each time you progress to the next boss in the area, their health goes up exponentially. I don't know if it's doubling or not each time, but it feels pretty close to that. So you start with 100 health, and you end up with 35,000. Depending on what style you've gone for in that run of it, you might end up doing poorly at the beginning and then really well at the end, or or at the beginning really good in the mid game, and then you sort of plateau in damage, so you just can't do the final bosses.
God.
So that's not ideal. Yeah.
As someone who's played this game, I found out that I basically plateaued in the middle, and then towards the end, I do like half the final boss's health, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that's game, I guess.
That's battle. I did 100 less than the final boss of the one I just played a minute ago, and on the final round. That was great.
I mean, have you been enjoying it then?
No. It has its moments.
That's fair. I found that sometimes the interactions were quite interesting, and you'd be like, wait, it transforms that into what? Sort of thing, or wait, this interacts like this?
One thing I thought was cool is that obviously when you pick a unit, it says what it does, and a lot of the times it will reference other units in its description, but it doesn't let you hover over that unit to see what it did or anything. So it's like an incentive to just play random crap and see what pops up on the board that you can then inspect. I quite like. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is a dar? That kept being mentioned. And it's some guy. I don't know what it's a reference to or anything, but he likes animals. There you go.
Because it just sounds like, I don't know, because I find played it wrong, but it just sounds like every battle people just gotta be the exact same unless you use deploy different units.
Yeah.
It starts almost exactly the same, but you'll get random choices to what is essentially a deck builder of sorts.
Yeah.
That's the way to describe it. So you add more units to your deck, and then those will come out and do different things and do different combinations.
It's kind of like, imagine you're playing like Hearthstone or Yu-Gi-Oh or something. Occasionally you get stopped in the street by someone and they give you a new deck of cards. And then you have to draw from both of those decks every time you play. But that keeps happening. So you end up with 56,000 cards, and you're trying to draw the ones that actually work together. But they've also nerfed all the cards, so they don't really work on their own. So you need the synergies. But the more you play it, the more options you get, meaning that the less frequently your synergies come up. And
then sometimes you'll have cards that are completely opposite in synergy, and they'll destroy the cards that have synergies.
Oh, yes.
And it'll destroy your own deck, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to take a card, which is nice.
That's true. It's probably just me being an idiot and not thinking about it, because I had an entire deck full of undead creatures, and then I accidentally created a paladin who then killed the undead creatures. I was like, fucking, what do I do? That's entirely on me. I fucked it. I've
done that occasionally with I put a zombie down or a were-dragon, and I haven't realised that one of the units I'm counting on. I put them down to get rid of the civilians, because they'll eventually burn themselves out or whatever. But hang on, that guy is also a human. Oops, he's gonna get converted. Oh dear.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you can see cards that you think have synergies, but they're either too rare or not strong enough, like early-ish, that you just can't get the ball rolling on them at all. So like anything interesting often just doesn't work. So you end up like stuck with the sheath and game devs.
Or just doesn't appear.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did have one thing I was stuck on it for ages, which was only constructs and only demons, and they have pretty much zero synergy between the two decks at all. And like half the units require other like types, like humans and stuff, that sort of thing. So they just half those units just do fucking nothing. So I was just like going through that, trying to do different things. It just nothing was working. Thing of the constructs, a lot of the more complicated ones than just the basic droid or whatever it is, they are fairly strong, but then they burn themselves out after a couple of turns and destroy themselves. So I'd like start, all right, get mid game strong, and then just all my units would kill themselves, and it would be like, oh great, I'm dead. So this time I stuck with just droids. I had the entire board just covered in droids, and then I shoved down like a short-lived thing right near the end that would then burn itself out, killing the second last boss, and leave the board just empty. And then I put down an anesthetic, which happened to come up because I thought it might, in the 9 lives I had left before the final boss killed me. And they do like twice as much damage, but depending on every empty tile on the board. And they start with like 1 or whatever. So it's going to go up to 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, blah, 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 all the way up to like a lot of thousands. And just one-shots the boss. Yay! And I was stuck on that, like, I did like maybe 10, it might even be more than that. A lot of tries, trying interesting stuff. And that was the one that worked. Pretty neat.
Damn.
Yeah. So there's some interesting stuff in there. They got like the Ark of the Covenants, I think, that turns all humans into ghosts.
The
Very
fuck?
cool.
I never experienced that.
It is.
God damn.
It makes sense, I guess. Yeah. But you got other units that just do special things. Like you got the Internal Affairs Officer. Ooh. You put them on the board. You get the button that comes up. You press it. You get like spooky sort of thriller spy music because you're Internal Affairs, I guess. And you get to delete a unit from your militia. Bam, gone. Yeah, pretty neat.
It's a way of thinning the deck out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite nice. I did it earlier to the same unit. The Internal Affairs Officer dismissed themselves.
Was that I don't
Very
want
funny.
you. Fuck off.
I'm not a huge fan of the art style. It's
No?
pixel art, right? But it's got too many pixels to look good, and it's got too few pixels to look good.
Can I ask, when did this game come out? What year?
I'm guessing like the last couple of years.
Last year, I think.
Probably.
Last year. Oh.
I got 7.3 hours in it.
It came out on Steam this year on the 21st of June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So people try to like an old school. Retro
I believe
Yeah,
it
it's
was
intentional.
on itch.io, much like Greener Grass Awaits,
Okay, that was an interesting goal
a
thing.
little bit
Yeah.
before.
Also, it looks like they've just done like regular models, like regular resolution-ish models, and then like downscaled them to look pixel. I don't know if that's what happened, but that's what my impression is. Judging from the way the animations look, the way like pixels just kind of jump around in ways that I don't think somebody would animate themselves.
I
They're
think I
big
see what
pixels,
you mean. Similar to the way in the original Doom, how they had models and then they scanned the model or like took a picture and then converted that into pixels. I think
Nah,
they've done something a little bit similar, maybe, or the
maybe.
models that have been pixelated.
Yeah, I think I don't know what they've done, but it feels like they've just like done a little render of an animation of something like jiggling up and down or whatever, and then just chunked the resolution down on it to look pixelated or put a pixelation filter on it. Whatever. They may not have done, but that's how it looks to me, and I dislike it. It's
That's
not like
fair.
Techno-Babylon where it looked great. It's not like the original Tomb Raider where it looked great.
I wasn't expecting you to bring up Techno Babylon. My God, that one threw me. Oh, I love the style of that game. That just threw me off that you would bring that up.
Alright,
Damn.
fine. It's not like Terraria. Is that more your speed?
What do you mean more my speed? I love Techno Babylon. I just wasn't expecting you to mention it. I didn't know that you'd ever played it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, I got you to play it, and you said that there was
Yeah.
one puzzle you really didn't like. I remember that.
Did I? Oh, this isn't the one I'm thinking of. I think of the Possession one, which is by the same people. No, it's not that one.
Possession.
Unavowed.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Alright.
Oh, Unavowed's
Yeah,
good as well.
Techno-Babylon's great.
Yeah, there's
should play that
Wadget
instead.
Eye Games. Big. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Moving back to the aesthetics.
Yep.
It,
That was it.
it's very stylized, but you don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's even stylized. It looks
That's
generic, but pixelated.
Right. So you just didn't feel anything popped up, but yeah.
No. The most stylized unit, I think, was probably the Anarchist or something. Because they're an Anarchist, they tend to dress wackily. Yeah. Everything else was typical zombie or typical ghost or typical really plain looking direwolf. Giant
So
rat, that sort of
they
thing.
didn't feel like they weren't trying to do anything original with the style or anything.
Not so much, no.
It's pretty much basic.
For the most part, there's lots of
Some
generic
bits, yeah.
monsters that have just been turned into pixels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting stuff is in the... Why the hell do they have a green hand, you know, as a unit?
The green hat.
Why is the game dev a unit, and why is he so good? Seriously, sheep plus game dev, that's a great combo. Because the sheep, they self-replicate, and the game dev provides its base damage to any unit with 0 damage, like sheep, but also increases its base damage every time it does that. So as the game goes on, it gets better, and so do all the sheep that it's buffing. There you go.
Damn.
That's the first combo I found, and it was highly amusing.
At least so
Oh, the other
positive
one.
came out of this. Yeah.
One of the most bullshit ones is there's a spider called like a Spinnerack. I think it's a Pokemon. A rack,
Yeah.
maybe? Yeah. And it has like a chance to just shove a web into your militia. The more webs that are touching themselves and also it, the higher its damage gets, like multiplicatively. So if you just spam those guys, you can end up with just the entire board covered in webs and spiders and just getting massive damage and killing everything. It's ludicrously good.
So how does it feel to play it? Like, do you
It
reckon?
feels like I should be able to use my fucking keyboard rather than clicking across the screen for like the one button I can do, the one action I can take on this turn. I have to go click it manually. For fuck's sake.
That was a lot angrier than I was expecting.
You can just tell when he was explaining it, it's like a lot of suppression of his anger. It's like, not going to lose my shit just yet. It did sound quite a frustrating game, if I'm honest.
It's not frustrating. It's more just I just didn't particularly enjoy it, except for a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of just start the mission. You get a couple of things in, like it's not really panning out, so you eventually just lose, and then do that again a few times until you'll get lucky or you try something different. Also, it's lucky and works. And then you hit like near the final round and you can't keep up with the scaling, so you lose.
Yeah.
It's because it's luck based. I mean, there's obviously a bit of skill or a bit of tactics, or whatever, but a huge chunk of it is just do you get the right units that come up.
Knowing what units work with each other only does you good if you get those units that work with each other showing up.
Most of the time, you just stick with the safe. Oh yeah, this is a common unit that works with an uncommon unit. Those are going to show up probably, so always do that rather than trying it. That's interesting, but it requires like a rare unit. Apparently, spam hellhounds. That's good, but I didn't do that.
So, is there anything particularly memorable about the game aside from not being able to use your keyboard to click a button that's on the other side of the screen?
Yeah, it's quite funny using ascetics because they pop in. If they one shot the boss or do enough damage to one shot if they were full health, they turn into a civilian, which is funny because they're a robot previously, so I'm not sure how that works. Civilians are actually humans. I don't think so.
Probably not. Yeah.
No. But yeah, there you go. That's quite funny. You can just do ludicrous damage if your thing's empty. There's one that was quite fun, but also really kind of crap, which was the replicant spiders or something. Those are constructs, and they have a chance to add more spiders to the militia. So you end up with a bunch of spiders getting added. But if like more than 6 are touching at one point, all of them explode.
Oh.
So it flows and then contracts instantly and then flows again. Let's go with that.
It flows and then dies, and then potentially could flow
It's like
again.
yeah.
There's been with a bit of luck. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Spiders.
Sounds like such a bizarre game.
Yeah.
But I'm
It was
guessing it's...
interesting from what I played, but I'll be honest, when I played it, I was playing it on Rosie's computer, and they'd already done the first 2 areas. So I was basically jumping in the deep end in areas that are like, oh, do these specific requirements? And I was just jumped in blind, not really understanding what was going on. And as a result, not really doing very well, because I just didn't really get some of the combos. So at least you've had effectively the tutorial, and not just gone, you play this for a bit.
I mean, the tutorial is just play the game.
Okay.
There's nothing interesting. There's nothing special about it. Yeah.
So is it that kind of game then? Like, it's pretty much the more you play it, the more you adapt to it, then you know what to do.
The extent where you learn what different cards do, but I mean that doesn't take long.
Yeah, you can't really adapt to RNG. RNG is as RNG does, which is generally kick you in the balls for 20 minutes and then offers you a sweet.
Delicious.
Fantastic. Sounds like the money worth. Yeah.
Yeah. Just. I hope you've enjoyed me kicking you in the balls for 20 minutes. Here's a strawberry bonbon.
I do, and thank you.
And you put it in your mouth, you start sucking, you're like, ooh, it's quite tasty, and then they kick you in the balls again, and you have to spit it out, because that's what your reaction is. That's my review of some roguelikes.
In your case, it would be the lime drink, the limeade.
It would be a lime bonbon. That'd be what it is.
A lime bonbon.
Bonbonade.
Or a sherbet limon.
Does anything that has lime in it, you'll have it. Like
Not anything.
What a
I was at
lime
work
bun.
the other day and
A
I was like,
lime
oh, I'll pour
muffin.
myself a lime drink. What should I do? Should I add some more lime cordial and make it even limier? Even just doing it as a joke to pour it into my drink. Someone grabbed my wrist and went, don't. I don't like it. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm just imagining it being like
Sorry.
a random customer.
No.
It's just like
it was
some
someone who
grizzly dude
worked
just
there.
reaches across
Being
and
a
grabs it.
Don't.
Just like, I'll pour some in.
Don't.
Just like, don't. Just,
Don't
oh,
Don't make the same
okay,
mistakes I
sorry.
made.
I've made some mistakes in this life. That is one of them.
Rhys would be the kind of guy though that would pour limeade into a cup, then lime cordial, then cut up a piece of lime, like a lime slice, and stick it on the side. When it's not too limey enough. Then
You're
again,
missing the
would
fact
kick
that I would probably put some lime squash in as well. You know.
Oh, for God's
I
sake.
always eat limes out of my drinks. And
And then the game will
lemons
kick
are
you in
better
the,
though.
That's why the game will kick you in the fucking balls for 20
Yeah.
minutes. To stop you from drinking too
Jesus.
much
So life,
bloody
give you
lime.
lemons, ask for limes,
them
you can
into
make limeade
limes.
instead.
Turn them into limes. Change
That's
the
what
genetic structure.
That's what Jesus missed out on doing from water to wine. Yeah, water to
Exactly.
wine. Need
You
some
should have
lime
fed the
to
5,000
lemon.
with lime.
No, he should have turned them from water into lime, is what it should have been.
Stop alcoholics. Yes.
It's not alcohol. Here you go. I've turned this water into lime. It's not even lime water. He turns it just into a lime. He picks
Every
up the
gets
water and
ill.
it just forms into a lime
It's-
in his hand.
Have you just realised that technically he was a bartender at his own Last Supper?
I don't think that was his
That wasn't
supper.
the last supper. That was
Oh.
just some random guy's wedding.
I didn't even know it was some guy's wedding.
Yeah.
No, it was-
He just he
Is
walks
it?
to some guy's wedding. He's like, "We've run out of wine. We've only got water." And he's like, "I can handle this. Call me your new supplier."
it sounds like a drug
I think
dealer.
what happens is like he's there, he's like, okay, sure, you're gonna run wine, I don't care. And then his mother's like, come on, Jesus, you can do it.
Do something.
You can
Poke
do
with a stick from across the room. It's just they're like, "I told them you'd do something for me." Fine, have some wine. And they're like, "But what
Have
about
it
the
on the
children?
house."
What are the children gonna drink?"
It's some fruit
It's like, well, they can go outside and get some water.
I got some lime juice.
Turn this water into fruit shoot.
But Jesus, I want a Sunday.
I want a Capri Sun. Oh, for
Fine, you will get a fruit shoot and you get a Capri Sun.
can
What
have a
does he get a Capri
Capri
Sun?
smack around the ear if you don't shut up.
Apparently they're Brummy kids in my version.
Yeah, but
Well, why is Jesus giving him a fucking fruit
I
shoot?
want a
I
pa-
want a Capri Sun.
I don't want the drink. Can I have a cigarette? I'm only 12.
Give me that man's drink instead. He's drinking
six-pack
a
of
vodka
Stella.
tonic. Oh no, I don't want the tonic.
It's all because of Bloody Mary wanted to show off her son's
No, they were just talking about the drink. It was like, oh, Bloody Mary. Yeah, that's what I'm drinking. What did you just say about me?
What did you say about my
What did you say about my mother?
Just Jesus scrapping at a wedding.
Bring it back.
You've had
from
too
death.
much water, Jesus. Calm down.
He's hit him in the back of the head with a table.
I'm gonna turn your blood to wine.
Oh my god. I'll turn your blood to wine and now you will be drunk by the rest of us. No, Jesus. And then they just like stick a straw in his arm.
Jesus.
And then just drinking the blood.
That's what they do in rum, so it makes perfect sense. Yes.
That's the Doctor Who thing, right?
Oh my
I
God,
think
There's
it's
a
yeah.
dude in it.
Yeah,
So
they
stupid.
stick the straw and then...
You just got a straw.
Because I think she drinks the doctor's blood and it's just like, oh yeah, you're still an alien. She's like, I can't be. And just has the look of, oh fuck, he's an alien as
What?
well, isn't he?
You're saying this dude that knew like I was an alien instantly has been expressing a whole load of non-Earth knowledge as an alien? How could this be?
Don't play
You'd
yourself.
think that they would have scanned him, by the way, and just sort of gone, you look familiar. Let me quickly check the reports. Leave him the fuck alone.
Let's leave, lads. Let's
I-
pack up and go.
I was going to say, well, he did just reincarnate. Is that regenerate? That's the one.
Reincarnate, yeah, he reincarnated.
But then again, he's also a time traveler, so that doesn't really matter.
I mean, that is also
That
true.
form
We
being
know
will
he's
come back.
alive.
True.
Yeah,
That does remind me, I think it's one of my favourite Capaldi bits, where it's just there, like, there's a Time Lord threatening him, I believe, and he's
Right.
just like, look up the Doctor, and then just like, you have an entry as well, just like everyone else does, and then he goes, yeah, but do it under cause of death, and it just starts ticking, and it keeps ticking, and it keeps ticking, and keeps going, and he's just there like, so there's a lot of entries on here. It keeps ticking. It's like, oh. And then all of the guards that were with him aiming guns at the doctor to sort of like run away. He's like, we're not dealing with this. Where are you going? He's unarmed. You are unarmed, aren't you? Always. And it's just like I think he has like 2 more questions, and he just sort of responds with, I don't really care. And the guy just goes, have a nice day, and runs away as well.
He is the badass character.
He can be. He can also be really stupid, but I think that's part of the fun of him.
Like
Honestly, if I'd written the Doctor, I would have just gotten to say just things that just fuck with people so much. Just they're like, we're humans and Earth is ours. It is now. I mean, you came from Jupiter's moons, and just have them go, what? And then leave. Not say anything. Just fuck them up.
So what? So what's going on?
It's like, no, you just came from Io, that's all. Leaves. What?
Leave and wanting more. That's the trick.
Yes.
And
It's
then
like,
flee.
this is my home. I was born here. My grandparents were born here, as were my great-grandparents. And as long as I've lived, we've been in this spot. It's like, no, actually, your great-grandparents were from Venus. Have a nice day. Leaves. What? No. God, it reminds me of, there's one episode with the Doctor. He does this entire speech of hope and you inspire hope. And it's like, and that's why you're one of the bravest men I've ever met from the First World War. And the guy goes, first? And he goes, spoilers. It's just, pretend I didn't say that. Oh dear.
You got something to look forward to.
Enjoy that. Well, maybe not enjoy that one. That's pretty bad, actually.
He just moonwalks back, like just a finger thing, like go back into China.
What was your name again?
Have fun.
Oh, Hitler. Oh, okay. Bye-bye then.
Oh, I mean, he effectively does that with the Davros in one episode. Because he's just
Yeah.
like, don't worry, no harm will ever come to you. Now, what's your name? Davros. And he's just like looking at this little kid like,
You know, Davros, if you ever grow up and think of being a genocidal weird maniac, maybe you shouldn't.
no, big speech, just
And that just changes the course of history. Anyway, so Million Monster Militia, yeah, it was alright.
Yeah. So
No, it wasn't. It was
going back
okay.
to being kicked to the balls for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a general issue with RNG games.
When we do it Friday?
Oh, God. Only if I can wear my steel cap boots.
Only if
Maybe
I
a
can
spike
wear
or two,
my
who knows?
Steel capped
to feel
trousers.
the real pain of this
Your
game.
steel cap trousers.
No, that's right. Inbuilt copies.
That's got to be a bit of uncomfortable wear,
And
isn't it?
it's just, I need to wear. It's not a steel cap. Just I need to make sure to wear my titanium boxer shorts.
Yeah.
You got your box, mate.
Just imagine some guy, he's just wearing normal outfit and then just like, really well articulated steel plate shorts, like trunks.
It's just like everything else is normal, and then just the bottom half is just night gear.
Not the bomb half, just around the crotch and the
Why
waist.
can't I
You
picture,
can't even see it. You can't even see
It's
it.
like a speedo.
It's a speedo.
Why can't I picture Putin being like that?
You know what? Yeah.
I can see that.
Why
He
is
just
that
has to go swimming, and he takes all of his clothes off, and he's wearing like steel speedos.
It's got like a bear on it.
Yeah.
There, just engraved on it as well. It's not like a painted; it's engraved.
The rearing up bear is about to smack down.
Because obviously he
Don't
can't
do
do
that.
that stupid thing that with the elastic where you pull it slightly and it slaps back. Instead, he has to just like tink tink the back of it instead.
Get the oil
like-
on it. Like.
He's got a slot on it with a hammer, and a little hammer he pulls out and ding ding ding.
Tink tink. They fit well. Very good. Let's go swimming. We only do breaststroke. It is the strongest stroke.
Jesus.
Only the strongest for Putin. Much like these titanium boxes. See, that just makes it sound like an advert.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
titanium speedos. Only for the
Fine,
strongest
sure.
of men.
Tink tink.
Tink tink.
Ding ding ding.
The advert ends with like the back of it, which is where all of like the bear's engraved, and it's essentially just a shot of Putin's ass with a bear on it, just right at the end. And like a bear roars like just like speedos by Putin. For Putin, nobody else. These are only mine. Nobody else gets these speedos.
They get slow those.
Slow days. Nobody can beat me in swim race.
Oh. They're like the speeders, except they got like sails on them to slow you down.
The speed in speedos.
Putin putting the speed in speedos. So I mean, to make full effect of that joke, it's just like Vladimir to put in the speed in the speedos. There we go. There's the proper joke.
There we go. Just need a little tink tink at the end, then
Tink,
commercial over. It's like an Asda
Ding,
thing.
ding,
Tink tink.
Yeah, it is.
That sound is making me imagine like he's there like posing during the advert, and it's just got like bullets ricocheting off like.
Oh, yeah.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
Just walking through a
See how strong they are.
They're how strong they are.
He enters a strongman competition and they can't bend his speedos. He's still wearing them at the time,
Yeah.
but they can't bend him. They
Uh,
cannot bend speedos, much like they cannot break my spirit for freedom of Russia. And then people's like, what the fuck is he going on about? He's finally gone senile.
Thank
You
God.
of the gulag.
I cannot bend them, yes, which means you are not strong. So you go to the gulag and get stronger. No, Putin, I'll do better. It's like, you are going to the
No,
gulag, boy.
I'll put in the effort.
It's like, how dare you use a pun on my name? Get in the gulag. Vladimir, to put in the speed into speedos. And they're like, but you just used a pun. Into the gulag.
Like, no one's allowed to catch us really bad puns. After the gulag with you.
Only Putin could use Putin as part of a joke.
Putin puns.
I will put in the constitution. Or whatever our equivalent document is in Russia.
We had democracy before Magna Carta was a thing.
Fucking, this is a very strange commercial.
Seems unlikely.
Same commercial, yeah. Same commercial. Sam, 4 words?
Put in the speed and speeder.
Yeah, sometimes alright, sometimes I'm bored.
Sometimes alright, sometimes bored.
But
Well, it's a
bored,
shame you
isn't it?
didn't enjoy it as much as I thought you might.
That's
I think just RNG to it doesn't really help if you've not got a way of guaranteeing stuff a bit more.
Yeah.
He's like, he sounds completely done with this game. He's got off his chest. He's like, that's it.
Well, I mean, I've seen him playing it a bit, which, if I'm honest, I feel like I've seen you play that more than I saw you play Yakuza.
I got along more game time in Yakuza, I just did it in larger bursts, I think. So you would have
That makes
missed
sense.
a couple of instances or whatever.
I suppose Yakuza
That's
actually
fair.
had some
Yakuza.
relieving moments where this sounds like a
Yeah,
constant
I've got about
stress.
not far off double in Yakuza.
That's fair. Anyway, time for a word from our sponsors. Hey, you tired of lemons? Why not try limes? They're tasty. You can use them with limeade. You can have lime cordial, lime flavoured drinks. Limes. Have some in your colour. What have I been doing? I played a game called Go Vacation on the Wii. Yeah, it lets you have a pet.
I missed my chance to go to the toilet for now.
Okay, go to the toilet. That's fine. That's on me.
I loved how he signaled. She's like, I haven't got to go. He just knocks out the park to do these toilet breaks. I rate him for
Every
it.
fucking time. So I played a game. It was called Go Vacation for the Wii, and let me have a pet. I called it, to annoy Rosie, who I was playing it with, Dong. D-O-N-G. I called it Dong.
Short for Donkey Kong, of course.
Donkey Dong.
Yes, we'll go with that. But no, I called it Dong, laughed about it, I had a little chuckle, and forgot about it. Thing is, the pet walks around with you and it does stuff with you, but when you got to do a mini game, they always say something and use the name of the pet as a reason that it can't participate. And so we're doing a mini game, and the NPC is just like, I'm afraid you'll have to referee, Dong. Just so cute. And like, the final
You
one
call
is
it
like,
your dong. I'm
Oh,
afraid
I
your
know.
dong can't participate.
Thing is, you have to referee your dong. But the one we were in like tears laughing about the next one because it was just we just got told like, I'm afraid Dong has to stay at the surf shack. So stupid, like genuinely just like cry laughing about it for like a good couple of minutes. Game's a piece of shit.
Nice.
Game's a piece of shit.
Oh.
I look forward to playing it again. It's
Nice.
like that level of just this game is ass. Let's play it again sometime.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
I've been playing Yakuza again, more Yakuza. This
good.
time I'm on number 7. I like Nanba. That is the name of a character. I like him. I am in like
Nanba.
chapter 12 now.
Fantastic.
Nanba. I'm playing it dubbed, which is really weird because all the other games I've been playing in Japanese, but this game I've been playing dubbed, and I actually quite like the voices for dub. It's actually quite good.
Can you give us a taste of what the dub is like?
Kisama!
To be fair,
That's
it
the
is
Japanese.
it is a little bit jarring because obviously in Japanese they'll like use like san and kun and stuff like that, and so like hearing like the really American English voice like, what are you talking about, kanji kun? And you're there like,
Oh.
Just fucking say his name. You don't need to.
Just drop the honorifics.
You don't need to use the honorifics. It's fine. But I'm glad you
Just
remember.
put in
what
the
they're called.
subtitles in brackets.
Yeah, just
Subtitle. If it's like an actually important thing, which must
like rather than say the honorific, put madam this, or like have them say sir or madam instead. That's the way I'd do it. Like
back when I was a wee blit, there was one anime that got subtitle, which is Lord. Every time they were called like something salmon, it was like Lord Natsu. It's like they're just random people. You met. Why are you calling them Lord? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. I mean, Sir's not that bad if it's like an older person and you respect them, like especially if it's like the leader of a yakuza.
If it's just like Mr. Watson,
Sir Blank makes sense.
I just sound
Mr.
like
Watson.
it's in the 50s or something.
Mr.
Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
Cool. Well, that's my bit done. Let's spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
It's spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning.
Boom.
It stopped. Ooh, interesting one this time. What's the best zombie apocalypse hideout location?
Oil rig. Although then you start with death, probably not that. I mean, I guess you can fish, right? That's fine, actually. You can probably fish.
I mean, you could fish
Gather
and you
rainwater.
could also grow, like, carrots and things, I guess.
If you have soil.
I mean, you could have, like, an inside thing. I assume, like, some oil rigs might already have that. An allotment type thing on the inside. That could make sense.
Near Arctic base or something. Not, like, in the actual Antarctic or anything. Up
near
north,
Arctic.
where the zombies are all going to get frozen.
Iceland sort of range, maybe. That sort of belt.
Somewhere where they're either going to get frozen, solid, or inactive.
What about you, Foley? What do you reckon?
It's a good question. For me, I think I'd have to go in a store.
Going a Dead Rising, Dawn of the Dead style, are you?
Yeah, because you got everything there. You got all the food, you got all the drinks.
All the zombies.
All the zombies.
Thing is, shops are often going to be very populated.
That's true.
And a lot of people during early zombie apocalypse will loot a shop, so you might have to deal with other people as well.
Oh, no.
Comic-Con. There's a bunch of like replica swords you can use as weapons.
The funny thing is my pick is in a similar nature to that. It doesn't help as much with the food aspect, but my pick would be a museum.
Museum?
Alright.
Yeah, museum, because
they're usually bustling there.
I mean, they can do, but I feel like if there's panic, people will be running outside trying to get to their homes and loved ones. But if you head to the museum, museums will often have swords and things. They're like quite maze-like, and they'll have a lot of barriers and things, like the bandit barriers and such that you might be able to take advantage of.
What about an ice
You're
rink?
right. It's St. Michael's Mount. It's down in Cornwall. It's like a little island which is connected to the land by a walkway which gets submerged for like half the day when the tide's up. And it's got green areas on it. It's got a castle which has a bunch of weapons in it, in like cases and such. Actual weapons from back in the day. I guess you'd have to sharpen them up probably. There you go. That sounds pretty good. You can put farmland on it, and you're separated by water.
Oh mate,
I mean, in water, decaying flesh probably wouldn't be quite that good either. Trying to get through, because plus there'd be like fish and things trying to eat them.
Yeah.
So you might actually be quite good. Plus, a castle's already a defensible location. It is a museum, so that's probably quite a good location for it. Yeah. So oil rig, St. Michael's Mont, or whatever it's called.
Oil rig, museum, bigger museum.
Bigger museum.
Bigger museum.
We're gonna need a bigger museum.
And a shopping centre. You don't get quite as many shopping centres in the UK.
What about roller disco place?
I can say roller coaster.
Because then you've
got
roller
disco place.
Yeah, because then you've already got wheels on your feet, so you're fast moving, and they just you got the music blasting, so you have a bit of a blast, just knocking out zombies and just rolling past them.
True. I mean, if there's always music blasting, they're not going to be like the moment you like knock a spoon over and there's some random place.
Yeah,
they always magically just detect exactly where everything is and go over.
The question is, if there's always music blasting, is that going to attract zombies from all over to the place the music's coming from?
Yeah.
Or because there's always music there, are the zombies not going to come because there's always music going on there at a drone dead level, and so they'll just sort of ignore it because they might have memories of, oh no, that place has always got music in them.
Surely things get used to, like, because they're like animals, aren't they, zombies? So they'll probably go, oh, okay, there's no one there. So it'd be quite. But then again, you have to deal with a lot of music all the time. So if it
the zombies go there, and there's just word of mouth to the other zombies, like, no one there, just noise, leave it be.
Let's go. So when the music stopped to like, hang on a second.
They've only got ABBA, and it's ABBA, so let's leave.
They got the Bee Gees. They got Bee Gees staying alive. Not good for us. No.
Just disco music. Let's leave it be. Disco. Disco's dead. Disco's deader than me.
Let's not play Thriller, then we'll go back. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah. Literally, you just start hearing that in the distance, and they all just.
You look at it, there's just like information coming at you.
Have like a Roman legion just marching forwards towards it.
They're like doing the dance. At
By the
same
time they get there, the song will be over. It's like, if they're walking ones, that is. If they're running ones, oh god, then you definitely need wheels on your feet.
They're just fucking sprinting in formation to the music. Synchronized. That would be terrifying.
Oh god, it'd be impressive though, but terrifying.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh my god, that's really cool.
He's like, oh look, you're after me. It is just that bit.
You just like start cheering it, way, and then you just hold out like hand for a high five as they go past. Like, whoa, yay, go on, guys! It's like a fucking Scooby-Doo thing where you trick it into the...
You just they're all like sprinting forwards, and you're just on the side of the road, handing out like bottles of water to zombies. And they're like, keep going, keep sprinting, guys. And then one of them just takes it and goes, and it just goes through the neck, and there's a giant hole, and it just comes out of the hole in the neck.
It's like they forget there was
He just like eats the bottle.
Like, I don't need water.
Crushes the bottle in its head and just gets stuck in it.
Just kills himself. He's like, oh, that's easy.
Oh, and then it's gradually filling up with like pink liquid.
Oh, that's lovely.
Imagine tricking a zombie doing that. It's like, yeah, stay hydrated. Like, yeah. Like, give him cans of alcohol.
Can you?
And then the zombie turning around, full on Scooby-Doo style of realising what's just happened, going,
Like, oh, sorry. So you got a castle. What'd you say, Rhys? Where'd you say you would go?
Museum is what I thought, just because there's weaponry and things in there. There's not much in terms of food, but it's like a fairly defensible location is the thing.
Unless you're willing to eat zombie.
I'm not into that.
Where
does the line draw on eating zombie? Because is that cannibalism or not?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, do you become the thing that you're actually trying to stop?
If they're like the ones from The Last of Us, which they're like mushrooms, if you cook those mushrooms, would you live or not?
I think
you become a mushroom.
Not very healthy to eat, regardless.
You are what you eat, and you become a mushroom.
I don't think I'd infect it, but I think it would just be like really toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Is there what eats mushrooms? Ants. Right, because there's ants that farm mushrooms.
They're cordyceps, right? Those are the parasitic ones.
Oh yeah, cordyceps also fuck up with ants as well.
Yeah.
I would say you'd probably need Ant-Man's help then. But
Are truffles mushrooms?
I think truffles are mushrooms.
Pigs eat those. They snuffle for truffle.
Fucking hell.
Snuffle for truffle.
Okay, I think we've reached the pinnacle of this conversation.
Would it actually help if you ate magic mushrooms?
I'm going to have...
Might help morale, I guess.
Because if you're that high and you think you've eaten enough food...
Okay, I've spun the wheel again, guys.
Yep. Let's go.
What I've got is there a game or film, so each one of you would be a bit different, you would refuse to review and why?
That's an interesting one.
I mean, a lot of them are just low effort.
I mean, true. I mean, I'm trying not to do the ones that are just like bargain barrel, clearly no effort's been put into them.
Anything which has like a reputation of being malware-ish, that would be... yeah, anything which has a particularly obtrusive DRM, perhaps. Like one of the actually bad ones.
Glad to know I can give you the biggest piece of shit game as long as it's not vaguely suspicious. This game is not at all suspicious in terms of malware or DRM problems, but it is a big, gonking, steaming pile of shit. So where you go, enjoy your piece of shit game. Here you go. Here's Elden Ring. Play that for me. Here's a game that literally won a game of the year. That's a pile of shit as far as I'm concerned. How about you, Foley? What would you refuse to review?
Step Up 5.
Step Up 5? That's such a specific film. Why?
Because I forgot it existed until now.
Oh, great. So
actually...
So the reason you review it is because you forgot it existed?
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck? Wait, so I can give you Step Up 3 or Step Up 4, but not 5. 5
No,
is too many.
5.
Too
No,
far.
not too many. It's just rubbish.
That's a step too far.
It's just,
there we go.
It's a step down, but then a step up.
Oh, dear.
Because I watched that at the cinema. I was like, this is just really rubbish.
You watched Step Up 5 at the cinema?
Don't get me wrong, I loved the Step Up films. I absolutely loved them.
I'm learning about this.
I've never even heard of this.
Oh, mate.
It's the first one with Channing Tatum in?
That's the one.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, the first two, they're not great films. It's just the fact, it's about people changing their ways. Like, Channing Tatum character learns to do ballet and does a bit of breakdancing. I was like, you know what? Sure. And it's a lot darker. Like, it's a more grittier than the other, surprisingly. But
Is
What,
it
5?
dance-based?
no, the first one with Channing Tatum. Then it just
And then the rest of them is just they're like, fuck it, we'll just deal with it.
it goes.
Jesus.
It's like, yeah, like, let's go from a gritty film to like, oh, let's just, just all about dance. Like, yeah, it's fun. They are fun. It's stupid stories, though.
I just wasn't expecting you to go so specific with, I'm not reviewing Step Up 5.
Just not going to do it.
I'm not reviewing Step Up 5 because, frankly, I adore the franchise, and Step Up 5 was just too far removed from what I wanted from the Step Up series.
Considering
It was an affront to me, and it was an affront to dance movies everywhere. So I will not be touching Step Up 5. Thank you very much.
Others are like the standard of Alfred Hitchcock
Good day,
and
sir.
Steven Spielberg, but this is just like J.J. Abrams level shit. So
Yeah.
not to...
For, as far as I'm concerned, could have been directed by Kubrick.
This is seriously a step down.
Yes. Should have called it Step Up 5. Step down, boy.
Or shit up.
Step up, rides again.
The rise of the step up.
The rise of the Step Up.
Somehow the step returned.
Somehow, step up
Step
has
returned.
returned.
They step up now. They step up now.
They break dance now. They break dance now.
Who are you? I'm Ray Step Up.
Ray, step up who?
I'm
Ray Step Up 5.
tired of pop locking. I just want the pain to go. Come on, Ben. It's fun.
I was going to say, that if you wanted it gritty, they should have gone more down the Rambo First Blood route. Like, they started this Step Up, not me.
Imagine the step up in like a war environment. So it's
Oh,
just some kids just
War.
like, yeah, let's just teach these terrorists how to dance. I don't know.
It's just stepping up never changes.
you could do like the good old World War One Christmas football game, but it's like a giant dance off or something instead.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Why are we here? Just to step up. So what are we? Some kind of Step Up squad?
Fuck me. Oh, God. So give it a watch,
What are you
guys.
doing?
Yeah.
Step up.
What are you doing, Step Up?
Why are you doing step up? Why are you doing step up
So
5?
Step Up Bro 5?
Uh,
No, just implying that she's got 4 of us as well.
It's just about the individual step.
she got so many siblings, she has to like categorize them by age.
It's about,
so
it's
annoying.
about her trying to get her stepbrothers to one up each other. So he wants to step up from 4.
Well, Step Up 3 gave me a present, I think you'll find. So Step Up 5, you need to really step up your game, I think you'll find.
You need to put in the effort.
Oh, God, not again.
Yeah, oh mate, Putin comes in the 5th one. Yeah.
Oh,
Him trying to pop it, like, spray dance over his, is it steel boxes or Speedos?
Steel Speedos.
Mm.
imagine if Putin did just like a John Cena style or like the Rock style switch into just being an actor.
I feel like it'd be more like Jean-Claude Van Damme sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where it would just be like the worst combat movies
He's
you've
like
ever
this-
seen for a while.
He's just a
You
sane
do like a
person.
couple of really
Steven
good ones,
Seagal.
and then immediately, oh yeah, Steven Seagal instead. I mean, he
Oh.
likes Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal's
Well,
a friend in quotation marks of
Well,
Putin.
apparently he's got Russian blood though, hasn't he? Like, he's got relatives.
Might be why he likes him.
But, yeah, or the fact they're both just mental.
I mean, that is also true.
Walking simulators, as in like the bottom of the barrel, literally just walking around while it narrates shit at you.
Hmm.
I would,
Some of those are interesting and
unless
good.
I can mod it, give myself a
But-
faster walking speed.
No, just like, Adora, I'm going to play this walking simulator. I've modded it a little bit, so my experience should be the exact same as everyone else. And then you're just walking, and it's like...
I just show footage of it. It's like the fucking Mario speedruns where I'm just hopping backwards across the map.
You
It's
just jump
perfectly
and it's like... "Wahoo!" Every now and again. It's like a really serious voice, and then the character's like, and then I saw them with my own eyes. Dead. Wahoo!
Here we go. Is that Mickey Mouse?
We got Mickey Mouse, yeah.
That needs to happen. That needs to be a thing. That would sell so much.
That's just a parody of it. It's just...
That
or
would
whatever else he says.
100% be worth like 30 quid to buy.
I'm not fucking 30 quid. Not about that.
25.
This ain't AAA. I was
Gruesome
going to say
war.
15 maybe. Final thing I wanted to talk about is there is a game that I've played with Rosie at one point. I was going to try suggesting to play it with you, Sam.
All right.
It's called Hypercharge. It's a really... it's on
Hypercharge
Steam.
Neptunia.
Don't look it up at the moment. It's called Hypercharge. It's not Hyper... Is it Hyperdimension Neptunia? I think that's called.
It might be. I don't know.
Why is that even in my head? I've never played any of those games.
He's
I'm not
loose.
even
Is
interested.
it the Hyper
had too much
Dimension
lime.
series? Or is it
No,
Neptunia?
it's called Hypercharged something. Basically, you play as an action figure who can like run around. You pick up guns and different weapons and things and attachments for those weapons. But it's also like a tower defense game where you got to protect the hypercharge modules, and it's quite fun. It's interesting. It's got like gimmicks and things to do around the map. I've enjoyed playing it.
Nice. But, one complaint that
Yeah.
you haven't described what happens when you beat the game up yet.
Oh, right, I see. Well, when you boot the game up, you're hit with some music, which is like a little bit of
I see.
trumpety sort of noise.
Okay.
And there's a lot of character customization because obviously you're playing as an action figure, so
Right.
you can customize with whole loads of like different archetypes of action figures. There's like soldiers, there are like wrestlers. I think you can be a
Oh.
dinosaur action figure.
Fair.
It's quite fun.
Nice.
But yeah, it's quite entertaining. Do you want to
Graphic
explain,
settings?
Foley, why this is relevant to what you're talking about?
Nice segue.
Okay.
As soon as he started mentioning, I was like, this is where he's going.
Yeah, yep.
So, Rhys got me to watch Toy Soldiers.
Toy soldiers.
Oh. What?
Sorry, I was going to see how long it... No, clearly it didn't take very long. So, Rhys got me to watch Small Soldiers from 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good film, I
For-
think.
For
Just
my
remember.
year.
Yes.
Directed by Joe Dante.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, I don't know any of the writers. Apart I think it's Ted Elliott. Didn't he do Buzzard Cowbeer?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know what the director has also directed, if that helps.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Gremlins.
I was thinking, I was watching, I went, it's just the same director. And they make a few references mentioning one of the Gremlins, Gizmo. But, yep, this is the guy that directed Gremlins.
He's
So-
also the guy that directed Looney Tunes Back in Action. So there's a link there that I didn't even know about to a previous episode we've done.
Wait, did he?
I believe so.
'Cause
That's
I
what
w-
it said on his IMDb earlier.
Again, I've done no research. I was like, you know what? Because I
That's fair.
used to watch this a lot when I was a kid. It's like, you know what? I haven't seen this for a
Hmm.
while. And luckily, I actually had the DVD. So the story is pretty much about teenager Alan, who works in his dad's dying toy shop. So very old-fashioned toys, not very up to fashion. And then he sneakily gets these toys from this big game company, Globotech.
It sounds so painfully generic of, would
Yeah.
you want to call our company? Globotech will do it.
So would you like to be subtle or would you like to be obvious? Yes.
It's like literally like calling it element unobtainium or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty much like
It's
it's just throwing it out there. They don't care. And so
Yeah.
he managed because the driver he gets it from, or like makes a deal with, is Dick Miller. He's from Little Shop of Horrors, like the original one. He's the plants.
He is.
And he's made like little cameos for like Gremlins. Yeah, because he's like him and the woman to play the old couple in Gremlins. The recurring characters. Oh, he's
Right.
I love that man. But yeah, he goes, okay, he makes a deal with Alex. Like, look, you take some of these. So what he gives him is so there's two types of toys. So you got the Commando Elites. So as you pretty much guess from that title, they're a group of army guys. And there you go.
Think of the team from The Predator.
I saw on IMDb, apparently Joe Dante actually wanted to get the cast from Predator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that, to do the voices. That would be
sick.
quite a cool idea, but I think it would have ruined the film a bit. I don't know if it would have worked as well.
I mean, the thing, originally he wanted them also because the film was supposed to be R-rated or like a 15 or so. But because of the marketing department, they basically sort of went, but these are toys for children. Make it child-friendly. It's like, oh.
To be fair, makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense, but we could have had little robot men, little small toy soldiers, gouging people's eyes out.
To be fair, that would be terrible. But imagine the kids watch it's like, oh, the Toy Story would be a completely different, vibe to everyone else. Like, I don't want my toy to be alive. If that's the case. But
It would just be the bit where they're tormenting Sid at the end of the entire film, effectively.
just killing Sid. That's what you get for leaving.
They wouldn't just stop at traumatizing him. They'd be like tying him down and ripping his arms off.
Toy Story came out before though, didn't it? It came out in 99.
It did. I think that's 95.
Oh, did they? Little similarities there.
A few.
Just a few. So you got the Commander Elites, you know, the Alphas, as you expect from like
GIs.
the GIs, and then you got the monsters, the Gorgonites,
Yes.
which are always hiding, and they're very friendly. They just want to go to Gorgon, like they're a nice peaceful area. But Alan doesn't realise that the toy designers have, because of Globotech and what they do, one of the toy designers, I think his name's Larry, isn't it? Is it Larry? Larry Benson. I just want to say, because...
Is that the one played by David Cross?
No, it's the other one. Larry Benson, one of the toy designers, decides, because I think Mr. Mars, the head of the Globotech, he wants the toys to be like the ad commercials, like punching out boxes, being all the action, what they could do in the TV commercial. So Larry's like, I get access to all the top classified equipment because he just...
I don't think he even puts that much thought into it.
He doesn't.
He just sort of goes, that'll do. And it's like incredibly powerful microchip.
Because he's an idiot. It's a microprocessor implants, which is Department of Defense. I went, yeah, boom, install that. You're like, you don't think...
These are used for everything, missiles, drones, little action figures.
Little action figures for toys, like for kids. You're like, it's the fact he doesn't realise what it actually was meant for, because it's discontinued or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
All cares.
It's
just like, that'll do, fuck it, that'll do.
It's
They've got a surplus, I'll have them.
So if it can make him talk and do the things I could do, boom, there you go. And so, because he doesn't realise what it actually is, I think it says the microprocessor will enhance the programming that's already in the toys, but make it more... It's like...
Effectively AI.
Then it actually becomes actual intelligence, like, great, that's not what you want.
Yeah.
So that's not what you need.
It's AI, artificial intelligence, no actual intelligence.
Actual
Keep up. Fuck off.
Actual
Come
intelligence,
on,
unlike yours.
Oh, yes, mine is not high.
No, it's not hard. It's like, shit.
Yeah.
But because of
Mine is
that...
not high, unlike me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you need in these toys. Artificial intelligence. I use for missiles.
Extraterrestrial testosterone.
That's technically what the Commander Elite is like. Like, steroid, like the Alphas. So, because of that, because they're designed to fight the Gorgonites, they actually come alive with, that's our mission. They rip out their boxes, they form an alliance with, we're gonna fight the Gorgonites by trashing everything. And I will admit, the film actually holds up still. I actually give it credit. I thought it would be awful still, but...
Same, when I watched it.
But...
I remember enjoying it when I saw it.
It's as a kid, you think, this is just really cool, like the fact toys are coming alive. I think all the characters are actually pretty well done. Like, they're really fun. Like, you got the parents, which I find interesting with Alan. He's had a history. He's done vandalism. Like, did he burn his school or something? Like, he tried, like, burn
Bit of a delinquent.
Yes. Yeah, that's a quick way to, like, so who's the troublemaker? So when all the stuff with the toys, like, start coming into the house, trying to, like, attack the Gorgonites, they're just blending one into the sink. His parents like, what are you doing? He's like, the toys, they're coming alive. He's like, you are mental. Like, you're just crazy.
Bullshit. But you're just fucking about.
Bullshit, you're grounded.
So what are you doing? It's like, this film is bonkers. It has that nice build-up where you get to know... Like, they introduce all the characters quite well. It doesn't feel like, it's a bit too much. It just feels just right. It's really nice with, like, Alan's relationship with Archer, the leader of the Gorgonites. I can't tell, he's just very sarcastic, or he's a quite a sassy character, I realise.
Alan or the Archer?
Archer. Like, he's very, like...
I think he's sassy and deadpan, so...
Deadpan, yeah.
It's a strange combination.
It's like going to a bit where he's trying to convince his parents, like, oh no, like, these Commander Elites, that like they are out of control, they just try to hurt me and Archer. And he's like, Archer, speak to me. Because like the scene before, he's really annoyed, isn't he? He's like, shut up, Archer, don't talk to me, shut up. And so he's trying to get
told
Archer.
Me not to talk, so I didn't.
It's like, not literally, Archer. I really like their chemistry. I like their friendship, if you will. But it's an interesting... I don't know, it just felt like a really weirdly feel-good film. Like, you just had a really good time. It's weird seeing Kirsten Dunst in this as well.
Yeah, she's quite young in this as well.
Quite young. I keep forgetting how many films she's been in. Like, she was in Jumanji not long before this. And I swear she did something else. But yeah, and like, she plays the girl next door. I think... Because this confused me. I thought she was the new girl in town. But it turns out they've always been living there. And it's like, it just turns out Alan just you can tell he likes her, but never says anything to her. So I like the fact, like, she's very outgoing, but
I think it also doesn't help that, if I remember, their dads do not like each other, so they probably wouldn't have interacted with each other because of the dad's just disdain for each
The
other.
Romulus and Juliet situation.
No, it's just the fact that dads are just dickheads, really. Like, it's a point, because you got Alan's dad that has a lot of stress and anger issues, so he can't chill out. And his wife is like the hipster, like, zen, like, oh, you need to relax, you need to, like, calm down. And then he hears the chainsaw going in the backyard, and it turns out it's, her name's Chrissy, Dunst's character. Chrissy's dad, because he's bought this massive satellite dish in the backyard to get all the channels on. You remember? He's like, your TV's in the way. No, your tree's in the way. So you don't mind if I just chop that down, do you? He's like, yes, I mind. It's a beautiful tree. What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, but it's getting in the way of my satellite. He's like, what? Why are you doing? Why? Because he just goes, look, you don't need any more techno crap. You don't need that big one. You got a whole house of techno crap. You don't need any more. And then, like, I think the wife's like, okay, let's go. I love how Chrissy sounds like, yeah, fuck it. It just continues going down like, oh, he's a knob. But I think...
God, in America, cutting down trees, there is a lot of legal ramifications around it. There's an entire thing like called tree law, which is you have to pay out a lot of money for cutting down people's trees without permission.
Yeah,
or just cutting down trees. I mean, it's even if you cut down your own trees and stuff, the government has to, like, take a look and be like, yeah, that's fine if you haven't already got a permit for cutting down trees professionally and stuff. Like, there is a lot of stuff about it because trees take a long time to grow back.
Yeah.
The reason. And so...
But could he not just relocate his satellite dish somewhere else?
Yeah, but he's a dick.
I think that's part of the point,
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's Phil Hartman, so that you're getting what you're getting with that.
Yeah.
You get Phil Hartman as an actor, you get a dickhead. You're done.
True.
He's like that in every live-action film I've seen him in, which is just this and Jingle All the Way, I think, actually. But he's a dickhead in both. He's a dickhead neighbour in both, actually.
But he plays it so well. Like, it's one of those, like, normally you would kind of get irritated by these kind of characters, but he always kept making me laugh because he's just done it so well. I don't know. I just really enjoy his time on screen.
Phil Hartman always managed to straddle the line between arrogant asshole and lovable prick.
Yeah.
Just right.
It's just a
he knows exactly when to push it, when to not push too far. It's just so good.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just how he just says certain things like, oh, he's a knob, but I love how he's kind of done that. So, I don't know. Yeah. It's what I mean. I think all the characters are actually really enjoyable. I would have thought, oh, they're going to get a bit annoying, like trying to convince the parents and all that. But considering, like it doesn't take them much to convince them when they say, like, oh no, this is getting out of control. Like, these toys are just next level. Just like the commercials. What's the slogan? Everything else is a toy. Or something like that.
Everything else is a toy. This is the GI Commandos. Or the Commando Elite, I think is what they're called.
Can I say, the voice acting in this film for the toys are actually...
It's phenomenal. Phenomenally good.
So good. Like, I was thinking, no, what, Tommy Lee Jones just nails it. But then you listen to you, it's like, no, they all do. Like, even the Gorgonite, like, all the voice acting. Because I realised for the Gorgonites, you know, Spinal Tap.
Yes.
It's got them three doing some of the, like, most of the characters. Like, this makes perfect sense for some reason. I don't know why.
It explains why they're half zonked out, half silly.
Yeah.
Basically.
I was like, just made me laugh. Like, this is so ridiculous. But again, I like I think the jokes work really well as well. Like, it's silly, especially when Archer like first makes himself aware when he's in Alan's room. It's like, I'm Archer. What is your name? It's like, Alan, now shut up. Alan, now shut up. It's like, oh, it's so stupid. But it's like you say, so deadpan. Like,
yeah, it's the fact that Alan turns back and just goes, what? Afterwards, did you just say to me? It's okay, Alan, now shut up.
So, no, you're not like that stupid. Like, just call me Alan. That's it. It's like, oh, okay, Alan. But it's some of the scenes of him though. I think. Like when he goes back to the store, or like the Commando Elites have broken out of their boxes and they've ruined the shop a bit. Chrissy comes in and starts helping out. And he's just like in the bag. He's like, Alan, we need to talk about this. He just shoves a hat in his face. It's like, oh, it's just
Alan, we need to discuss.
I don't know why it made. I felt like a kid again watching this film. Like it's such silly humour, and like because it just reminded me when the commandos broke out, they steal all the dad's tools, don't they, to like repair. And so the dad thinks when Alan's trying to convince him like, oh, the toys are alive somehow. So does the mom go, oh, I get it. Are you on crank? Is it crank? She says instead of crack. I couldn't tell.
Maybe.
I swear it's
I don't remember.
because it being a kid, I was like,
Are you on crank?
Are you? I was like, is that what she's saying? Are you on crank? So the dad goes, oh, so that's why you pawned all my tools. Like, what? It's like, no, it's like, that wasn't me. So it's quite.
Where have the tools gone? That's dangerous.
So
where have the tools gone? I don't know. You tell me.
Like,
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
You pawned them. It's like, I did not pawn anything. It's like, I burned down a school once, and you think I'm a psychopath. Like,
I mean, that is kind of reasonable, to be fair, to not believe him after that. I burned down a school one time. It's like, that's one time too many, boy.
Like, good point, yes. So I kind of like those silly incidences that like create the situations. I like the fact it's a nice build-up. And I don't know why I put this. I really like the touch.
By Stan Bush.
What?
That's the song.
No. I don't know why. I don't know why I like this. It's a tiny thing. It's not even a big thing. But it's when Chip Hazard, I love that name, does his big speech when they come out of the boxes. But in the background, you got the flag, like the American flag, but it's made out of puzzles. I went, they assembled that just for this speech. I went, you know what? I'll give them credit. Like, that's a lot of effort just for like a few seconds.
What, the toy soldiers did?
Yes. I'm not doing. That's a puzzle they just put together just so I'll put up. I went, that's a nice touch. I like that.
It's so stupid, but very silly background detail humour.
Yeah, I said that's what I kind of like. The fact like they're using all the environmental stuff to it. It's like, oh, they're in a toy shop. Let's put together the American flag out of puzzle. And then they clean up the shop. Don't know why. My heart always leaps. They mention Led Zeppelin. I'm like, yeah. The drummer from Reddit. Like, yeah. It's like that big love for Reddit. Just like, yes. Come on, Led Zeppelin. So I don't know why. I was like, have to put that in. It's like just a room.
Oh, that's a point actually. Did you know? I found out recently the guitarist from Led Zeppelin is from Swansea.
Oh.
Are you actually serious?
Nah, that made that.
Oh no! Come on, Sam. You could have lied to us until the very end. We gotta find some band members that are from Swansea. You really got my hopes up there. I was like, yeah, it's gone full circle. Oh. I'm not going to try and tell the whole film, but I actually started to enjoy the film. I went, you know what, I'm just going to watch it. I feel like I couldn't just keep writing notes. But
yeah,
that's fair.
But I don't know why. I think it added as well. I love the fact they thought about the sound design for the toys. So when Alan's on his way back home on the bike and he's got Archer in his bag, and they're like scoping out the area, like, okay, like the Gorgonite's in there, we've got to get him. And I think it's like Buck or something, like Brick, and like he just jumps onto the bike. But I love the sound designs. It's when he's he's getting dragged by it, like hanging on. You hear the hollow sound of a toy. I'm like, I don't know why that made me laugh so much. Like the scraping and the hollow, and it's just nothing, is it? Like he's just, it's just the fact he just gets ripped apart though. His face is running on the gear thing, like the gear chain, and he gets his legs. It's like that looked brutal. I love the fact they put so much effort into this film, and that was it. So on his way back home, he wants to make a complaint to Globotech, and you got the customer service. And she's like, everyone you expect to be like to work with customers, like the fake like noise voice, the constant smile on the phone. Say, oh hi, how may I help you today? It's like, look, right, I got some toys for your company. I don't know what, but they're absolutely crazy. That like they come alive. Say, oh, we can't do refunds, but like, would you like to? Like, I think he goes, but we can't help you with this. It's like, no, okay, clearly you're not understanding the situation. He put me onto like a robot or something. It's like a machine. Just put me through to someone. Say, oh, okay. And she goes, goodbye, ma'am. He's like, ma'am, I'm not a man. And she's still smiling like, fuck you. It's like, that is just perfect. It's one of those, I can understand his frustration, but then I also get her. So it's not my problem.
Just not giving a fuck. It's like, this is too much for my pay grade. I don't give a shit.
It's like, bye, ma'am. It's like, I'm not a ma'am. I love that line.
Honestly, as soon as she started complaining, she should have gone, yes, that's very nice. Like a dragon! And then just put the phone down.
It's like, nope, for me.
Not for you.
felt weird hearing this song. The Gary Glitter song plays, the same one they used for Joker. I'm like, oh, they didn't know back then, did they? It's like they really didn't know. It's like, this feels very weird to be hearing in this film. And forget how weird the 90s were. I think when Alan calls Chrissy or Chrissy calls him, she has a weird, like, headset on, don't she? I don't think you remember. Like, it feels like a proper gaming microphone before that kind of existed. Like, she's holding one of those small brick phones, and she's got a proper headset. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I think it's partially because her dad's like a massive tech nerd, so she's just been given loads of these things of tech.
Good point.
And it's just like, oh, you get the cutting edge stuff all the time.
Good point.
That's what makes us cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
What I really appreciate about this film, like the fact it's got a nice setup, like the toy designers, like, you know, putting artificial intelligence into the toys, and then it goes to like the Commando Elite's breaking out, and then Archer wants to find his Gorgonites. I think it's just a really nice, simple story, and like it's surprisingly a lot of action as well. Just consider it's toys. It's like the fact you got the whole, like I class that bike scene I mentioned earlier, like when the guy's just scraping along the floor. That's quite a fun little action scene. But I like how it progressively gets worse. Like, you know, like, well, I mean, like, it gets bigger. And so, I like the fact it's like, again,
there's good escalation to it.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes, like, a really enjoyable film. I like the fact it's very Chekhov to do, like,
Chekhov's
good with the writing. I wasn't expecting so many things to have a payoff, if you know what I mean. Like, now, they'll introduce a lot of things, then it actually goes like, oh, I was not expecting this in this kind of film. Like, I thought it'd be, like, really dumb throwaways. Because, like, when
I'm guessing that satellite dish comes back then.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, it does.
I was like, how is this come into play then? If they are going to do this, and suppose like I think it's a silly idea what it comes in to do. I was like, no, but it has a reason to be there. So it's stuff when Chrissy and her little brother first goes into the store. He goes, oh, you know, I want, like, one of these action, like, one of the army dudes. And she's like, well, you know, you don't need all this stuff. And he's like, well, is it like Glenda dolls or something? I forgot what they... He's like, but we got all your dolls. And she's like, okay, don't have to mention that. It's like, but then later on... Oh god, the nightmare fueling scene of like when the Commando Elites not only spike her parents with sleeping pills when they're watching it, because they got the massive TV, haven't they? The massive TV, the loud again, those speakers come back into play. Like the fact it's like, oh yeah, the big screen, we've got the satellite, and the Commando Elite's like, right, well, we fucking dosing these with a shitload of sleeping pills. So they're passed out, and they go upstairs to find all these dolls. But I love the fact they're like, because obviously they're thinking like very sexual stuff, like you can just tell. But then Chip has like, no, these. So what does he say? He's like, these are gonna be like a new addition to the team. They're recruitment. You're like, sorry, what? So what was that? And Jesus Christ! What they do with the Glenda dolls, or what they're called, holy shit, they're terrifying. But is it wrong to say they kind of predicted how women will kind of look nowadays? It's like really bad to say, like the whole Botox and plastic surgery. Then it just looks too bang on. Like they predicted that too well. But it's just like how.
I mean, it looks pretty terrifying.
It's like the fact the melt. Because what does one of them say?
Oh yeah, they like soldered them and stuff, didn't they?
What? Yeah. Because when I think when Chrissy comes in, like you got like Frankenstein kind of stuff going, like the lights flickering and like just jumping on her. I think then when Alan comes to rescue her, it's like, oh god, like okay, like because they tied her up. It's just insane saying this stuff. Like some dolls, like Commander Elite dolls, I've tied up this girl, holding her hostage, getting Alan to come over the Gorgonites. But it's just like, I think one of the dolls pop up like scissors or something. And she goes, well, if you can't accessorize, pulverize. Like, okay. It's like, if a doll said that to me, I would run.
Do you know who voices those dolls?
Who?
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
No. From Scooby-Doo?
From Scooby-Doo and Buffy, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar who voices the Glinda dolls.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
That's why they're so feminine in voice of just, well, if you can't accessorize, pulverize, stab.
Oh, that's brilliant. The fact, the whole stabbing. And on the set, Chrissy, would you say boyfriend or, you know, the boy she's having a fling with?
Tosser,
yeah. So, so I love how he sees, I don't blame him, but he's like, you could at least just, oh no, to be fair, they do set him on fire, don't they? They get like, they got like a flamethrower, just falls down the stairs, like, you know what, get out of there. And again,
run.
My brain has got, that memes, like, whenever people say, like, tell us stories, like a straight train track, my brain's got to be all over because there's so many things in this film film I would not expect. But again, like, even his, speaking of Chekhov's gun, his moped comes into play. They actually take the moped. I'm like, it just keeps, I'm like, how are they doing it? Like, this is not what I was expecting from this silly film. Because that's the thing I was talking about, like, that you got that instant there where it starts to get really dark. And then, so when they escape, like, they actually start kicking all, like, the dolls, like, you know, beating them up, like, which is satisfying. Which when they take the moped, like, you got you got the commandos in their little toy cars chasing them. But they're blown down, like, you know, the poles, everything, like, you know, telepoles. Like, this is just mental. There's no way. Imagine just seeing this out your window, like, you got two teenagers on a moped. Imagine just driving past it, like, that's not what I just saw, was it? Like, I am clearly too high for this shit. It's when they go back to the house, and like the parents are just going like, "What the hell is going on?" It's like, look, like trying to explain forth, the toys just come alive, they're attacking us. But it's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Then the toy designers come to the door like, "So we heard you had a complaint about the toys." It's like,
we heard you had a complaint. What is that complaint? We need that in a little bit more detail, please.
It's like what? Oh, that was it, because that's because Larry, the one who put it in, goes, "Oh, I will just have to warn you, like any accusations or anything will have to be used in court." And Alan's dad with anger issues just punches him in the face, like, well deserved. Because I love the fact, I think David Cross's character, like I'm missing so many things in this film.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in such a short film, frankly.
Like the fact it's not like average length film, but so many things happen. So I think David Cross's character at the beginning, they get given passwords, don't they? And then like David Cross goes like, "Oh, mine's Gizmo," and that's when I went, "Yep, it's the director of Gremlins." That's how I knew. I was like, "Yep, knew it was." They're like, "Yeah, you weren't supposed to say your secret password out loud." So Larry forgets his password, so he uses his Gizmo, and he goes, "Oh, so you used my account to purchase microprocessor microchip from the house, like the house? No, what's it called again?
Department of Defense.
The Department of Defense, like, and you put him into toys. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?" I love the fact it's just like, you are just like you're insane. Like, why'd you do that? Those two come at the end. He's like, and that's where you just realise, like, yeah, we may have made a bit of a mistake with the toys, but it's just a fact as well. Like, they tie up Joe, the delivery guy from early on in the film, who delivers the toys. So they look out the window like, oh, why is a Globotech truck outside? And they just see all the like. To see the back open and all the commando leads breaking out all the other toys are like, no. It's like, I love how the parents just look out the window like, I think Alan might be telling the truth right now, because they're just looking around. I would always remember the scene that followed after that, when they use Kirsty's dad's speakers to absolutely blast Spice Girls. It's like, what's it called? If you
Wannabe, is it?
Wannabe, that's it. I also think of the long title. I was like, this is where it's just the fact so many things like this is the moment we've all been waiting for. In fact, I love it is just a little war with toys and two families. Like, this is just insane. I love how the neighbours just spent like, oh, turn that TV down every goddamn night. Like, but the fact, like, the toys have got little, is it ball shooters? But they start lighting it on fire. It just shoots like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's just like they're using just normal household objects and appliances and making them insanely deadly. And just terrifying.
That's what I remember the most. Like, extremely competently.
Yeah, like one of them gets a nail gun and uses it as like a weapon to shoot them with, and it's just like, Jesus.
Look at
The one I remember the most is when the dad walks up to the guy who's like on the little vehicle. It's like, what are you supposed to be? It's like, you're doomed. And then just shoots a net at him and it just catches him. It's just like, what?
No, because what was it? I think I actually wrote this down. Because I think, but yeah, it just says what? Yeah, because he just comes through the gate, doesn't he? And he's like, what, you packing small? He's like, packing you. Just shoots a net at him. Like, well, technically, it did what he's supposed to. I love what the dad's like, what the fuck? But it's just all that scene. It's just how it all just escalates. The house setting on fire. Oh no, a missing important thing. They realised because the reason why the microprocessor chip was discontinued, because apparently it was weak against EMP. It's like, that's how we destroy them. Like, we need a big, large enough source of energy, like electricity, then we can blow it. It's like, well, how are we going to get all that? They could, like, this house has nothing now. But then, like, the turn of Christie's dad's like, well, he's got a lot of techno crap. Like, we could use that. It's like, But it's the fact, even when they're in the house, to like mess with the electricity, you got Chip Hazard going around in a toy helicopter shooting nails. Like, this is just not right. Like, and they're shooting saw blades.
Yep.
Like, it's like, this is lethal.
Yep.
To be fair, thinking about it now, I know it's pretty obvious to say, it is like Gremlins, but with toys, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is just all that.
You can, with the way the weapons are as well, you can definitely see it has the framework of everything being far deadlier and having far more effect.
Yes.
Like, if they were allowed to make it R-rated, that nail gun would be shooting into them. Somebody's arm would have probably been lopped off by one of those saw blades, 100%.
100%. They just shoot to the wall. You're like, oh.
Like, they may well have killed some of the family in the R-rated version. Like, it would have been fucked.
Yeah, if they have to do a remake, which I don't think it'd be good as this, but I was like, you know what, try and do it.
I think this one has the advantage of it's still that cheesy 90s silly
Yeah.
shit as well.
I think that's what we kind of need again, like, where you can tell it's kind of like aimed for a younger audience, but it still has the violence, which I love, by the way. I love the fact they can't use violence. Like, it's I think the head guy, Mr. Mars, they're like, oh, we can't advertise as violence. Like, we can't do that. It's like, okay, advertise as action. That's what we all love. It's like, yeah, this is where it's all going. This is where it all leads to. It's like, it's not violence, it's just action. That's what it is. But
it's a big difference.
It's a big difference. But I will say there are moments as well where you find out what the actual, going back to the dad's like tools. Also, the radio goes missing, and then you find out like where the other Gorgonites are hiding. They're hiding in the trash, like the trash thing in the back, and you find out one of them actually repaired himself, like using part of radio, and like he just turns on and he can actually play the radio station on his. He's like, oh, that's quite cool. I haven't really talked about the Gorgonites. I thought the Gorgonites were actually quite cool. Still, they're very quirky designs. I love the joke with because you got the one that's just one eye and like 3 legs. He's just watching the TV. He's like, hey, don't get so close, you'll ruin your eye. He's like, To be fair, they don't appear a lot. Like, they're not in the film for a long time. They appear quite later on, and then I don't know, something just like that. Obviously, because they're used to hiding what they're programmed to do. It's like the hide. Yeah. It's not till like the very end of the climax, like they go like, you know what, gotta come out, start fighting. But I don't know what. I really like the moments where, because obviously they used the computer to find Gorgon, like their home. But that's the thing. I'll check off because when Archer's looking out the window later on, it's like, well, if Gorgon's not in that window, referring to the computer, it's like, what's outside this window? I was like, oh, I thought that scene was quite sweet though. It's like, it's so stupid the fact to talk to a toy though. But he's just like, oh, you got outside, you got the store. It's like, and beyond that, he's like, I don't know, you got just the legs and the strings, like, and beyond that. To be fair, if that was me, I'd be like, oh my god, you do just outside, Archer, just outside. But I like the fact
I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, Archer. I'm just a teenager.
I failed geography.
I'm just a teenage boy who didn't finish school. I don't know. I burnt it down.
I'm just a fucking idiot.
But the fact is, it's the fact again. They show the power. What would you call it? The thing they use at the end. The power
pylon.
You know what?
Yeah, the pylon things. Yeah.
Like the fact it's just there. They don't mention it. I'm like, oh, you sneaky bugger. I like how subtle that is. It's like always right there. But yeah, I like the fact like they use bits like it's a nice scene with Archer and the Gorgonites, and the fact they foreshadow very subtly like that's what I gotta use for the EMP.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't do much research. Didn't really want to like. I just like last time I did the film, like I just enjoyed it. I don't know what it is. I couldn't. I think it's just like I'm pretty sure most people listening to this would have seen it, but if you haven't, I probably would have ruined some of it. But I'd say just go and watch it. I think it's just.
I still think it's a bit of a different experience listening to it being described and then actually seeing what they're described and going, oh fuck, that is brilliant.
I think it's actually real. I was like, it says nearly 2 hours, but it's like an hour and 40. But I was like, oh okay. But then it's very quick. They settle things really nicely. The actors and the characters are really well done. You tell how much fun they had with the toys though, like how brutal, or like the army, like the war themed. It's at the end though when again it's brutal when Alan has to climb that power pole, and then again you got Chip Hazard in that toy, what was it, helicopter, just shooting noses. Like this is just not right for kids. This is for a kids film. Jesus Christ! It's when he jumps off though, and he just gets the knife. He starts stabbing. He's like, no, don't like this. But I like the fact he just. Just kind of grabs him. He's like, "You're getting fried." He just sticks him onto the power thing. He's like, "Oh damn!" Like, but then he's like Kristen Dunst on the lawnmower, like just chipping through him. But that's what I was saying. Is like, okay, so they've done the EMP, the toys are destroyed. Because I was remembering, I was like, don't the Gorgonites actually survive? Like, I was like, how do they survive if they got the same chip? And then it's like he finds, because later on, isn't it? Like. Because Mr. Mars, the guy, the head of the geotech, comes down in a helicopter, lands, and I love the fact this is the only time in the film where the rich guy does something right, I guess. It's the fact, like, the delivery driver, Joe's like, oh, you know, like, goes, I just been held hostage. I don't think, it's like, why it's a check? It's like, oh, that'll just do nicely. And then you got the parents like, wait, what about my house and my equipment? Like, it's always like, well, it's a check. It's like, oh, that'll just do it. And then he's like, who about his family? He's like, what about our house? It's been burned, you know, everything's ruined. There's nothing. You don't have enough money to cover this. Right, it's a check. It's like, oh, clearly you do have enough money to cover this.
I think it's just like, actually, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's like, there was no money in the world that you could do that. That's a lot of money.
That's actually the right amount of money. And so I was like, that is such. I love the fact. Because you think he'll be mad about, because that was it. Because then Larry comes out with, like, you know, a hurt, like, broken arm, took on his nose. It's like, I know what you're gonna say. Things may have got out of hand, a little out of hand with the toys. But I love how Mr. Mars is like, so you used artificial intelligence for, like, to create these toys. Like, yeah. So how do you say you're selling the toys for? It's like, well, it's like $85. Like, add a few more zeros to that, then we'll make some. Like, what? So he actually wants to make more? It's like, Jesus, he's such a dick. He's such a knob. After seeing the disaster it just caused these people.
Devastation.
It's like, mate, it's just like, you know what, let's make some more, sure.
Yeah.
But then, sorry, going back to like, so how do the Gorgonites actually survive the EMP? They do. What they covered, what was protecting them?
Are they hiding in the satellite dish?
They are hiding in this massive satellite dish.
Hey.
And it actually worked.
Nice.
I was like,
Was it upturned or something?
Do you ever get like, that's so stupid, but I would allow it because it kind of, I'll just allow it. It's a fun film. I mean, I'm not going to go. It's about toys.
It is. It probably works, right?
Probably.
I mean, it's designed to reflect a bunch of
to be fair,
emissions and such.
Just shows how my knowledge of things, I'm just terrible with this. I'll be like, no, that should have worked. But he's like, no, they know what they're doing. It's like, fair enough. They did artificial. Nice. But then it's really sweet though at the end, isn't it? Because they still want to find Gorgon. Like, he's like, I don't think you got to find what you're looking for. But it's just going back to the conversation I have about the window, because Alan says like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, because you can't see it, doesn't, because you talk about air, aren't they? It's like, oh, don't you feel that, Archie? Went, no. Like, oh, you're plastic, aren't you? Sorry. It's like, so like the fact like, oh, you know, because it's not there, doesn't, like, you just can't feel it, doesn't mean it's not there. So Archie says that again to him. It's like, well, you know, it may not be there, but it's like, oh god, this toy's making me cry. It's like, it wasn't Woody. But again, check off. Early on in the film, the boat is broken. What does he sail on? He sails on the boat. It all comes back together, and I'm surprised how many things could pay off in this film. Wow.
That the house combat stuff 100% feels like they were just like, here's a house. I want you to go and have a look and tell me what you think could cause the most damage. Regroup in 2 hours.
Like, apparently everything in a garage or even a kitchen sink with a blender is near enough. Like, it's just, what other...
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't go fucking anywhere near one of those things.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't touch that.
Because what...
It's a very American waste disposal, you know.
Yeah, I'm not putting my hand on there. But what other things they use? Because there's so... My brain just overloaded.
There's an episode in Supernatural where a guy, like a repairman, unplugs that, you know, puts his hand in to get something, and a poltergeist where it was just like, click, on, his hand gets fucking shredded.
It's just like, who thought that was a good idea?
You're not even safe if you unplug it.
Who thought it was like, yeah, let's put a blender for like disposal. Like, great, where do I put it? In the sink. So just
I get why it exists.
I don't.
Because it's like
terrifying.
Because often if you like chuck stuff away, there'll be like gunky stuff and some stuff, so it blends it up and destroys some of it and turns it more liquidy, so it can actually go into the sewer. But I still would never touch it.
No, like, it just seems like
scrape your plate off into the bin.
Oh yeah, just throw in the bin. Why risk your hand for a bit of garbage, like a bit of wasted food? Like, no, just the thought of it. No, it's useful for killing.
Very scary.
It's useful for killing toys.
Oh, there's a scene in Heroes actually as well where Claire gets her hand like gunked up by it, and then it's like, because she's got like a healing factor, right? So it heals up, but it's covered in blood. And she's just like drifting on the floor while like, hiding behind the back, like, oh no, it's fine.
Happens all the time. That's a bit. There's also a scene in Final Destination 2 where
Oh, fucking hell.
it's like a guy. I think he drops is it a ring or something? Like he see. But the thing is though, it's such a stupid.
I think Claire dropped a ring there as well. So that's
It's
good.
like-
Oh, fucking hell.
No, because in Final Destination 2, the guy wins all this stuff from the lottery. So he buys all this stupid shit like a new computer, all his jewelry. He drops a ring down the waste disposal. So he decides to stick his hand down that hole while he's wearing a new golden watch. I'm like, how big do you think this blending fucking hole is? Like, so then it gets stuck. I went, oh, who would have guessed that was going to happen? So then it's
I
like,
think.
oh god.
Why don't they just have like entrance, blender, a compartment that you can just fucking open and grab shit out of
Yeah.
it, with a little filter underneath.
Then like, yeah,
Have
then
you
you-
blended it before it goes
just
in
go
there, right?
underneath and just pull it out. Anytime I hear it, by the way, about a ring getting dropped down a sink, I always just fucking remember the bit from, I think it's Stuart Little 2. And I always then think, what if that was a fucking waste disposal unit? And they put him down there and accidentally flick the switch and just, oh dear. Stuart! Oh no, fuck!
that would bring a different meaning to Stuart Little 2.
It's
Like,
You know how
he's
when
in
you
two
suck in
pieces
spaghetti
now.
and it's like
Pieces.
into your mouth? It'd be like that with the tail. It's stuck down into it.
I
The
want to.
tail's the only thing that's left. They just pulled the tail out. I was like, I've had to deal with some dead mice and, ooh, not fun.
My dog, Chester, brought in a dead bird the other week.
Oh, lovely.
He just came in just very gently to put it on the floor in front of me.
He's
Oh,
giving
yeah,
you
okay.
a present.
Very strange. His eye had
It's a
exploded
gift.
out of his socket. It was very strange.
Ah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
as your.
He was
Oh,
very
no.
perturbed when I threw it away somewhere.
I can't. No. I was going to ask if has your dog ever brought in like a bat for, but I don't know if that's maybe like cats that do that.
I've never had Mog bring me a bat.
Oh, my brother has.
He definitely
Like-
didn't. He didn't hunt this bird himself. It was long dead.
Oh.
Ah, yeah. He's like, oh, look what I found.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a gift. I honour it to you.
I found it, now I give it.
Yep.
But I don't think I've got any more notes on. I think a lot happens. I try to remember so much, but it's the fact it's just a crazy film. But
That's fair.
but I generally think it's actually a really well made film. Like,
So I take it you would
Nice.
recommend?
no.
Oh, okay. never mind
No, you need to watch the Minecraft movie instead.
Yeah, watch a Minecraft
then. Yeah, watch
movie.
Minecraft movie instead.
I'd step
yeah,
up
watch that
5.
instead.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I saw. I was looking at the not step up. It might be a step up actually. It was a step up IMDb page I think earlier,
Oh,
and
nice.
it autoplayed onto the Minecraft movie trailer. Now I've just heard all I heard until now was that it's fucking stupid, but it actually is stupid. Like what the fuck are they thinking?
It's so bad.
It
It
looks
looks
nothing like
so
Minecraft.
bad.
It's just it's so weird. It's just
I-
tribal random shit.
I went into it with an open mind, hearing it was terrible, and I still left going, seriously? That's what we got?
It's
Oh, man.
Okay.
It just looks crap. It's just a fact. It's like the fact that tries to stay true to design, but then it's just a fact. When I saw Jason Momoa is his name, just come in with like the
Yeah.
really shitty wig. I'm like, what?
Well, I don't have a problem with his outfit. If
But
that's what he wanted to
the-
wear, fine, but the wig looks awful.
But is it taking the piss like the
Yeah,
whole
Scott
like?
Pilgrim.
Is it when like you got
Is that him?
the different mods and like skins? I'm guessing, and like, but the fact.
I don't think that's even what they're going for, because I have a strong suspicion that this is going to be an isekai.
What's an isekai?
As in,
Oh, wow.
people going from one world into another, much like Alice in Wonderland and Brutal Legend.
Alice
And I
in
have a feeling that
Hinterland.
people have talked and I've seen. I think that cube MacGuffin that one of the characters is holding is going to be trying to be robbed by a baddie that's going to be in the film for them trying to get into our world or some shit.
Right.
Basically, Mario movie, but bad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all going to be about a MacGuffin, which is funny to make the comparison because they'll both have Jack Black. One of them, pretty good. The other one,
It's gonna be on.
I will give it the
It
benefit of the
remains
doubt.
to be seen.
I'll wait.
Yes, we will see how bad. I mean, how
Alright.
good it might be.
I'm gonna
bad
be
it
so
is.
optimistic. I'm gonna watch the film when it's on illegal.
I'm gonna
online
pre-order
movie
it.
Websites.
In fairness, I went in thinking that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie wasn't going to be good, and I saw it, and fuck, it's good.
Did
I
you-
really enjoyed
the
two
two film-
more.
yeah.
I'm looking
I still
forward
haven't
to three
seen
so fucking much.
Mate.
Oh, they're really good.
It seems they've gone a lot. The tones are a lot bit grittier now in the second one.
It is, but I have a feeling
Does
they're
it
going
have
to be
Shadow
taking the
in it?
piss out of Shadow. It's
Yeah.
got Shadow who's played by
Okay,
Keanu
that's
Reeves.
fine.
Everyone was
Reeves.
taking the piss, going, "Oh, Shadow's going to be Keanu Reeves," and he actually is, and it's just like, why?
I
Why
think
is Shadow
it
Keanu
actually
Reeves?
works quite well. Like, yeah, I can see that working, and it does.
And we are blessed with two Jim Carreys because he's playing Dr. Eggman and Dr. Eggman's dad.
I can't believe that. The fact he said,
So good.
the fact he said before, was it before Sonic or like after he went, yeah, I'm going to retire from acting.
After Sonic 2, he said, I'm going to retire from acting. Unless a script is of incredible gold level quality, I will not make another movie. And he's doing Sonic 3. That is making everyone go, what? How good is this script? What the fuck?
But have you also realised that actually making it more accurate to Eggman, is it Eggman? Is what Dr. Eggman? The fact
With each one,
Also
they're making him more Eggman.
because is he putting a bit more weight on now in the third one? Because I think he tried to put on a suit. He's like, oh, it's a bit of a struggle because he keeps eating like.
Yeah.
Of all the things, did you ever think we'd be like, I can't wait for the next Sonic?
Never. I never thought that I would be saying that. It looks so good.
Oh, I can't.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm actually really excited about this.
Anyway, do you have a favourite or most hated character in Small Soldiers?
No,
or both? Do you have a favourite and a
To be
most
fair,
hated?
you saying this, I hate the little brother of Chrissy's.
Yeah, fuck off.
He's just such a...
Not that interesting.
He's not interesting. He just whines like, oh. So,
He's kind of just there to be the annoying little brother trope.
It just made me laugh though when I think it's when Chrissy gets back from the date or from being through the tosser.
The tosser.
I love the fact like she just looks in the living room. Her parents are just spotted out. You see like oh. They're drunk in front of the TV. Just opens the closet door, and her brother's just tied up. He's like, He just throws the coat over him, doesn't even look at him. And I was watching. I was watching that. I went, as a sibling, though, I was like, if you all got siblings, like, I bet she did notice him. I bet she just did one. And I was just like, yeah, fuck it, you can stay in there.
But,
Oh, dear.
Like, nah, I'm not doing with you.
so good.
Like, yeah, I think he deserved it. He did nothing. I don't know why, but it made me laugh. It's like, oh wow, I can't believe they got me the whole set of the Commando Elite. Well, you're in for a treat, aren't you, kid?
Oh dear for you.
Oh dear.
That's not going to bode well.
He deserved it being so useless.
Yeah. And who's your favourite character, and why is it Chip Hazard?
I love that. I don't know what that got me off guard. Oh, to be fair, I don't know what it is. The fact he's...
Line after line, he just fucking bangs it. It's so good.
The fact is, though, he's not a very... How would you say? With villains like that, you expect him to be quite comical. But he's not, though. He's just so...
Focus.
He's badass, man. Like,
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones' voice acting, he just nails that commando. Like, he suited that. Arnold, I can imagine doing a great job. But you just... I don't know what it is.
I don't think you'd have been able to take it as him as seriously. And I think, his serious characterization, I think just lends it to the rest of the comedy so much more because the situation is so ridiculous, and then you've got such a serious tone that just sort of sells the insanity of the moment.
I think that's what's it. I think the fact he's so sinister, but the fact he's a toy, kind of like it makes the joke itself. But then you got
it's a comedy film, but he's a credible threat.
Yeah,
like a genuine threat, which I think is really good.
It's the fact he is deadly, man. And like you got his lieutenants or whatever, like they are just comic relief. Like it's like again, I like the distraction scene when like they make you like, oh bring us the Gorgonites and we'll let your girlfriend go. And so I like the fact like again with the radio, like Andy carries this big box. It says Gorgonites inside or something. Just it's like you see the Gorgonites like, oh god, I'm so dizzy. Like, I can't stand this. And you're like, oh, so they're just gonna they're gonna beat up the Gorgonites for a bit, or the Commando Elite just go, right, it's done then. Just pokes a hole in, just sets a dynamite. Like, oh, they're just not messing around. It's just let them run off. And like,
they're so good because they do not fuck around.
No,
they're like, we're here to exterminate them.
Fucking
them up.
Yeah, that's it. Like they're lunatics. They are just crazy. But the fact they are so
we're going in scorched earth.
Scorched earth.
Destroy them.
Like I say, you got the weapons with the saws, and you got the nail guns. You try to stab a kid. You're like, this is just ridiculous but dangerous. But Chip Hazard, I think rewatching this, he's a very underrated movie villain. I think he doesn't get talked about. Like he is very driven just to kill. Like the fact he was a Gorgonite, but then he went, that was it, because that's what made it threatening. It's
collaborators.
Like, yeah.
If you're defending them, then you die too. Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like
because the parents are like, well, they only want the Gorgonites. We're safe. It's like, it's all of us against you, like, was it 9? We went, like, 9? Where did they get 9 from? Went, like, the Gorgonites and us. It's like, oh dear, okay. It's like, the game really has changed.
But, he is going to kill us. Great.
He has just lost it. With Archer as well, you like it because he's, like, obviously they're proven to be good. They're very, very, you root for them. They're such funny characters and so loving. But when it comes to Chip Hazard, like, he is just badass. He really is. He's so sinister, man. It's a toy as well. It's like, you're scared of a toy. toy. Like, I think it goes him and that really creepy baby from Toy Story 3. Like,
Jesus.
it's like, that's like, if we're talking about toys here, and then you got the weird, the baby head with the legs from the first one.
I mean, that one's not a villain. That one's a good one.
I know, but it's still fucking creepy. I didn't say
that is true.
It is very okay, my brain. I was going to say very freaky. I was going to say very freaky.
Very hooky.
Very hooky. But my brain then decided to remember the hooker toy.
Oh, right, yeah.
So my brain, that's how my brain has worked. It just went, it's like a pop-up. Went, oh, you remember this one? Hooky. Oh no. That's not the word I was looking for.
Pretty sure playing hooky is like when you're skiving from stuff.
Yeah.
Hooky.
As well.
Hooky. I thought hooky was meant like
You
dodgy
do the
as
hooky
well.
hooky and you turn it around.
I'm not sure I've heard that description before, but it could be. Wouldn't know.
Wait, which one?
Yeah.
So it could be dodgy or the the hokey hokey. But what I'm saying is, I feel like with this film, it's the fact it's just a fun film, and I just had to mention the parts that made me laugh. It surprised me, the writing, the directing's obviously gotta be great because is it Joe Dante?
Joe Dante.
Joe
Yeah.
Dante.
Yeah.
Did he not do
I'll get back to that in a bit.
Wait, did he not do Goonies as
Oh,
well?
he directed Million Monster Militia.
What was that?
What was that?
What did you say? Did he direct what?
Goonies.
Goonies. Yeah.
I don't think he did direct the Goonies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He may have done.
I think because I thought it was always Steven Spielberg, but I think he produced it. But yeah, I was like, it's got to be a great film if it's Joe Dante. And then, to be fair, he did a film that you guys have probably seen. I forgot all about it, but I need to watch it. You ever heard of him called The Hole?
The Hole.
I love that.
Maybe.
It's
this the one where there's like a basement or something? There's like horrors in the
It's
basement.
just The Hole.
yeah.
And it turns out it's just about what you fear, and as soon as you don't fear it. Yeah, I remember that film was interesting but odd. I might have to give it to you at some point and then make a connection.
It's a very teeny film. It's very
Very teenager.
very
film.
teenager film.
Right.
No, I say the second act near the end. That's where I was like, that's what I wish the film was like the entire time. Well, I won't say anything just in case, though. But it's like the older brother's fear he finally faces. So, but I was like, that's what I want. But then again, that girl had a creepy fear. Like, I won't again, just in case.
Yeah.
Like that scarred me, man. And that's only like what, a 12 or so. I'm like, no, this film's just too much, man.
Yeah, I think Small Soldiers is scarier than that film, to be honest.
Imagine just walking out, like, doing your day-to-day life, and there's a toy in a vehicle that shoots fireballs. Like, what? And shoot down like the telepoles and everything. Like, this.
I'm telling you now, if that film had been allowed to be made at 15, 100% one of the soldiers would have ripped one of their arms off and put an entire double-barreled shotgun in there and used a chainsaw. 100% we would have had an Evil Dead character.
No, that would suit them because it shows how insane they are. Because if they can create a whole recruitment of dolls that are just just unsettling to look at, they should have definitely done an Evil Dead reference. Like,
they would have done like Rambo-style punji traps.
Yeah.
And things like that. Like, you'd literally have someone impaled for like a spike through the chest. Just insanely gory.
That's what they...
Like, use proper like actual guns on stuff. They probably could have got like 2 mounted machine guns on a lawnmower and just blasted at people.
Just on the shoot.
Like, I feel like they would have, as a joke, just had someone go, "What is all the racket about?" But just like 4 people turn around with mounted machine guns, just lay into this neighbour who just drops down on the floor dead. And it's like, "We're going, boys," and then just immediately turn back and just start blasting the house up again.
It's just...
They would use like explosives and just mutilated people, just mental.
I want to see now a zombie apocalypse film, but they're not zombies. It's this. It's like a self-replicating squadron of toy soldiers. I've just decided that all of humanity needs to be wiped out
by toys.
I feel like something slightly similar happens in the fucking film G-Force. Because there's like G-Force. Oh my god, G-Force.
Is this with the animals?
Yeah, with the guinea pigs and the mole.
What?
I believe on the top of my head, what happens is one of the characters uses like these microchips that have been put into like fucking everything by Bill Nye's character to just streamline everything, and it makes them be able to come alive and start attacking people and do all this damage to stuff.
Oh shit.
And combine into like some Voltron thing and stuff. So that kind of does happen, but it's also slightly Mitchell's versus the Machines-esque in and a sentient AI taking over, that sort of thing. So this sort of thing has been done before, but self-replicating soldiers is so much cooler.
It's a later stage, like in zombie film where like most of the world is falling or has fallen.
It's Terminator. That's what it is. It's just Terminator, but with like tiny little Terminators who have just all gone insane.
Like,
that'd be so fucking cool.
That'd be terrifying.
it could be
Mad
like
Max
in the
environments.
Matrix, whatever it is game, where they all just like combine into one big dude. But it's just human size.
yeah!
It's not massive like in that.
It's so good.
Human size.
Or even better, they all form on a car. The car like pulls up, and then all of them jump off of this like proper like tank car, and they've been like the hull the entire time, and they all like pull their guns from it, and they start just blasting at the main characters, and they're like ducking for cover as this tank of just made of soldiers just pulls up. All of them are like lying as well, and there's all the tank treads too, and it's just the chassis that's not them.
No, on the inside, it's just like it's a wheel made up of soldiers like holding each other's like legs and then going around a circle, and then it's just like a bunch of them running inside it to spin it like a hamster wheel.
It's amazing.
It's like a really messed up, what was it, Power Rangers, like, formation.
Transformers. Oh yeah.
It's a Megazord, but it's a Mega Squad.
Mega Squad. What are we? Some kind of Mega Squad?
Form Mega Squad. Jet. And they're just like all forming a thing, and then just somehow there's like a blast at the back, and they all start flying, and you're like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Change the apartment.
Oh
my
what
God.
the fuck would the humans do against that? Like,
Nothing. You can't win.
that would be amazing. Like the fact that humans had to lose, like they were done from the very beginning. Just toys. Why?
They'd have to go underwater, and that's where they would live, because they couldn't feasibly get under there, even with that thing, unless and that could be the plot of the film, is that the robots come underwater as they finally built submarines to just start assaulting the underwater facilities.
Oh my god! Do you know what this actually reminds me of? Have you ever heard of Maximum Overdrive?
Maximum Overdrive.
That
does ring a bell, yeah.
So that, I think, is really rubbish, by the way. That's probably a film
Right.
No, I think I would review it. It's like a meteorite passes Earth, and then what happens is all the electronics, like a lawnmower, cars, and anything that's electronic, wants to kill people.
Right.
There's no explanation to what this meteorite is like. Oh, just a bare meteorite, sends a signal, you're all eliminated. I was like, this is those, because if you watch it like that.
It's like Life Force, but stupider.
Yeah. Oh, I need to watch that. But mate, if you watch, because what was it, Stephen King
It might be on the list. Ooh.
I wish I never said anything now. The film is so ridiculous. Stephen King directed it himself, and
yes, I do remember you mentioning this.
He's just definitely tells a lot of cocaine. But I think someone asked, I think not long, like a couple of years ago, people asked him like, "Oh, so you directed this film? Why haven't you directed anything else?" It's like, did you not see it? Yeah, have you not seen the film?
Did you watch it? Have a guess.
But it's like, I thought that fucking brilliant. But if anyone's interested, watch the promo trailer where it's just him. That is more terrifying than the actual film. I'll give him credit for that. The thing with the toys, everything like then things coming to life. That is a whole mashup of like Stephen King, toy soldiers, no small soldiers.
So the question: is there anything in this film that reminds you of another piece of media? Maximum Overdrive. Good to know.
Well, about 20 of them, I think.
We've covered a bunch of them.
I think we've covered quite a few. Power Rangers about that.
That's only for the sequel to Small Soldiers, where the ones that have been sold for a ridiculous amount of money are then being marketed and they're self-replicating and they get bigger and bigger. The idea of them breaking into a hardware store and just ripping fridges apart and things, and then just turning them into like BattleTech armor.
But if they do a sequel,
that'd be sick.
That'd be so cool. They just build out of a washing machine and they're just ripping them apart, curving them around like a blacksmith, and they're all wearing like battle armor, and then just building mechs and things. Oh, that'd be so fucking.
It should be more grittier, but in fact, because in fact, if they're going bigger than in the sequel, do you know what they can call themselves? Do you know what the title could be?
Medium soldiers.
Normal soldiers.
Yeah, actually no. That's actually no. So from their perspective, we're building this big machine. It's actually the same height as a human. Like, oh, this is easy. Just destroy it. Normal
Standard soldiers. That's what it is. Standard soldiers.
I was going to say something, she was like, big soldiers, but no, that's it.
It's just
small soldiers. Big.
Just normal soldiers.
Small soldiers 2. Standard soldiers.
It just keeps going up. Small, medium, large.
Small soldiers 3.
Small soldiers 3.
No,
soldiers.
it's going to be like Fast and Furious, where it's just small.
Just small. That's it.
That would be the fourth one. That would have to be the fourth one, because the A is the 4, like small, or S for all, S for all, and that's them finally conquering the planet. S for all. Small soldiers for all.
Small soldiers for all.
And then it's 5 more.
You got to be careful. You don't want to abbreviate Small Soldiers for All, because then that looks like SS for All, and you don't want that film.
Oh,
Well, it depends on what the soldiers modeled after, I guess.
because now if they're taking over the world,
For some reason, Nazi
I don't know
toy
why you would.
soldiers.
the new slogan would be everything else is just human or dead. Everything else.
Only human.
We made Small Soldiers a lot darker than it actually was meant to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love it like that, but it's not going to happen.
I know, we should make this.
They've tried to make multiple reboots, and actually they've tried to make games as well, because Hypercharge is based off of it with different things. But they've tried to make a Small Soldiers game. I think there might be one in production, but I'm not sure. Anyway, 4 words of how this film made you feel.
Like a small.
This is where I keep forgetting about this question. Or how does it make me feel?
So how does it make you feel?
Okay, I'll be serious this time. I'll just say it's nostalgic. So it's like felt like a kid again. I think it's just. Nice. I think the fact it's quite a nostalgic film because
that's 5.
Yeah.
Felt like
just get rid of the A.
Felt like a kid.
Yeah, just felt like a kid.
Like
I mean, my 4 words for it would be Chip Hazard, magnificent bastard.
Yeah, all the characters like the fact they're very well designed, and I love their own personalities too as well. I don't know what it's that soldier. It's obviously like I think that with the one they use as Chip, like they break his head like open. He's got his teeth in it, like yeah, let's go. He doesn't have like he has no lips. He's always showing his teeth like. I mean, you are disturbing to look at. But it's the fact, he just like when he dies, like he just rips off the rubber. It's like, why is that actually quite disturbing for like a toy? It's the way they're like, I love how the toy's like, oh god, I'm gonna be sick. It's like, you can't be sick. As Woody would say, you are a toy. Sorry.
I was thinking, by the way, guys, if the sequels ever did do more, Alan would have to become the central key character, much like Connors. And the reason I would want this is because they finally find the central point of it all, and they manage to break in and they get there, and it's a giant mainframe built around the original Chip Hazard's head. And like half metallic, and just like, you again.
That would be.
Why do you foil my plans? That'd be so fucking cool with Tommy Lee Jones. Just like because you'd just be like, oh my fuck. All of this is built off the head of that. That'd be such a cool twist. That would
be terrifying. Like again, I know I'm saying normal size, but imagine a normal size Chip Hazard coming at you like, I don't know what to do. I think I'd run. I'm like, you know what, you win this one.
Especially if there's like the tiny head, and then the lights suddenly grow dark, and it's just like, what's happened? And then bursting through the wall is a normal size Chip Hazard, and it's like, now I can destroy you, just like that, and be like,
target is about to be eliminated. He's like, yep, true. It'd be like, I love the fact he was like a kid version of a Terminator, like kids. Yeah, he's got like the toy style, like still like the suit, the outfit. You're like, yeah, it's terrifying, but I love it. Write this, Rhys. Write your script now. In production.
I would need the rights for it. I don't have that.
I guess they're still gonna be hollow, right? So they're human-sized toys. They're really fast because they're really lightweight, but they're also really lightweight, so you can just like throw them across the room, and then they'll just get back up and sprint at you again.
Yeah, it's like
if they get bladed weapons, they're like a menace because they're so fast.
I feel like what they would probably do is make them, if they did make themselves out of like metal fridges and cars and things, they would be like made out of metal and things like that, and just sort of like shaped metal around. So to be kind of Terminator, but much less efficient in the Terminator design, because the Terminator is all about sleek design. So it would be like a Mad Max version of the Terminator, Diesel Punk or something like that. That'd be fucking sick.
The only way
they're effectively riding mechs themselves.
I think the
only hanging out the head or the chest or something.
I think the only way you destroy a human-sized Chip Hazard is if it was based in England and the shop that he was in, Poundland. Like the really cheap material. It's just like the fact he just runs at them.
He just starts falling apart.
You just punch it and their arms come off. You're like,
just shatters.
It
just shatters.
It's like, oh yeah. Like,
it's just like the punch and like your face like barely moves. It's like, what?
You feel like Superman. You're like, oh,
what?
I didn't feel
what
that.
Is this?
You just slowly glare at him with a side eye.
It's like, I don't have to do anything.
So, Sam, the Million Monster Militia, out of 5 for the story.
1.
Yep.
It doesn't have a story.
Gameplay?
I give it a 2. It's got some good ideas, but I don't think it hits the mark, and I got bored.
Right. And design?
So I give it a 2. I was not a fan of the visual style.
Right.
He's so done with this game.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so.
I didn't hate playing it. It's just like mediocre.
I think this is tied with the lowest game you've rated.
Oh, what was the other one?
Fairy Tale Adventure.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I would never kill
I love the immediate. Okay, right, I got you.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it tied with? I haven't played it. Oh, right, I see. So, out of 5 for Small Soldiers. What do you reckon?
I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
I thought it was going to be a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hits all the right marks that you wanted it to.
It's not a perfect film, but I think it's like the fact what they managed to do with it is actually quite impressive. But considering how silly the film is, yeah, I rate it.
Yeah, that's fair. Design?
You know, I'll say 4 again. It's just say everything just kind of worked. I say like so they actually really thought about it in a way. Like they thought about the characters and like the technical stuff as well. Again, I don't know why I love the sound design of the toy. Like the fact it's just a reminder they are just plastic. And it's like it's just that it's how ridiculous it is.
And character?
Should I say 5? You know what? In this, I'll say 5 for character. Because I got no character I did not dislike, apart from the kid, apart from the little bastard.
The little
You won't
bastard
just leave him
kid.
tied up, don't you?
But he gets some comeuppance, so it's fine.
He gets left. He gets a hope.
He gets a step up.
I swear he doesn't appear for the rest of the film. Like, you know what? They just left him in there. so we never really liked during the weekend.
So that's a 13 out of 15 for Small Soldiers.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Close to my 5.
That means you liked it more than Like a Dragon.
Like a dragon.
Like a dragon.
And you liked it more than Space Jam. What a surprise.
What did Space Jam even get?
Oh, what?
Space Jam got a 5, I think.
Ooh, wow.
No,
Really?
you know when you think what's a bit too harsh, then you remind yourself like, no,
You remember
it
it.
actually is a shit film. It's just I was a guy let nostalgia. I know I can't do it with Small Soldiers.
I had a great time talking about it.
Yeah, so did I.
We'll do the Small Soldiers reviews first. I think
Alrighty.
you'll love these ones, fairly. The first review is a 1 out of 10 by
Ooh.
Matt Zieselman.
Man.
Yes.
Man.
This movie was the worst movie I have ever seen. The acting was so bad, I wanted to puke. The soldiers were so stupid, I wanted to pass out. And the lines of this movie were so ridiculously bad, I wanted to die. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. I mean, what the fuck? This movie somehow managed to get decent ratings. If someone says this movie was good, I am going to punch them. I hope this
Bloody
director
joke.
never makes any movie again. This movie was so bad, if he made any other movies, the average rating would probably be minus 345671254312698215469.
Wow.
I hope they never come out with a sequel. If they do, I will break all of their cameras in half. They might as well record a coffee cup, and that would still be better than this movie. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It sounded like you had a good time.
1 out of 24 found this helpful.
Can you find your own review helpful?
Probably.
Just a few times.
Make an alt account. Screw you for not liking my review. Thumbs up this review, you bastard.
I find myself
Helpful,
beautiful.
damn it.
He sounds like a
Yes.
fun guy at parties. Yeah.
That was a review from 2015.
Right.
Oh god.
So, yeah. This next review I only just realised, this review comes out from the year that the film came out, 1998.
Okay.
It's called I Wish I Was Younger by Skelly
Right.
-4. When I went to see this film, I was expecting the laughs I had when I watched Toy Story. I'm 19 years old, and this film made me feel
What?
like I was really in the wrong place. Everybody seemed to be enjoying the film as I sat there contemplating going down the pub. Then realization grabbed me by the throat and shook me around quite a bit. This film was designed for youngsters and I had outgrown it. Facing facts, this film is awful. But if I was 10, then it would probably be one of the greatest films ever made. So my comment is really saying, take the kids, but in no means take your mates, as I did and got beaten by them for stupidly recommending it before seeing it first. And that was a 1 out of 10.
Wait, so
I think you
got
need new
beaten
friends,
by
mate.
them, oh my.
I think you need new
right,
friends.
so everyone enjoyed the concept of Toy Story, but when
He was like, I really enjoyed Toy Story. Toy Story came out like, what, 5 years earlier? And he's 19 at this
Well,
review?
14's a bit different. Like.
yeah, also,
Yeah.
Not
it's kind of what you want.
15, I think it was.
It's kind of what we wanted from a toy. So like when you get older, you're like, oh, I imagine if they did this kind of like mischief, action, violence.
It's
like-
just the fact that he's there like, oh, I think I've outgrown this film. And all my friends who beat me up thought so as well. It's like, your friends. Sam.
I bet
Your
they
friends.
I bet they hold him hostage. You know, type this review now. Type it now.
0 out of 18, by the way, found that helpful.
Yeah.
So less people have even stated whether it was helpful or not, and that review was older than the other one.
Give it a like. Just I find it helpful.
I've got a review here by Zachary Rush. I used to love watch Small Soldiers and the Dinosaur Show Law.
Is that it?
Okay.
That's the review.
Okay.
What? That's it.
Why is that
Yeah,
Russian?
that's it.
Um,
I don't know. I used to love to watch Small Soldiers and the Dinosaur Show. Lol.
we have saying in my country. It's about small soldiers.
Beauty. It is about small
Yeah.
soldiers.
Oh, is it Putin? Right.
Beautiful for your eyes. Oh god, Putin and his steel speedos. No.
I like Toy Story, but I did not like this.
Okay, I've got another review here. This one's 3.5 stars
The
by
bishop was
A.R.
younger.
Burton.
Oh.
A.R. Burton.
Why is everyone so harsh?
There's a moment in this film where the commandos blast the Spice Girls into the house as a form of psychological warfare against the humans and the Gorgonites. I was the gayest little kid growing up who was obsessed with the Spice Girls, and I vividly remember going to the cinema to see this movie when it came out with my mum and loving it. I just know when this part of the movie happened in the cinema, 8-year-old me was just straight vibing to Wannabe.
Straight.
Oblivious to the fact this movie was absolutely rinsing me for it. Thank you for that, Sam.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Well, I mean, at the time, they probably didn't know.
I said
He
he's
went
the gayest
straight.
kid, but you're straight vibing.
Straight vibing.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
that person was claiming that the film was rinsing gay people.
No, it was rinsing them for loving Wannabe, despite the fact that the joke is that it's psychological torture.
Yeah.
And as a kid, they were like, oh, I love this song. But the film is taking the piss out of them for enjoying it, basically, is what they're saying. I've got another one here, which is another 3.5 stars by Justin. It simply reads, Where's the police?
I mean,
They got paid off, obviously. Mr. Mars had the check,
Yeah.
so...
big toys.
Another 3.5 stars by Dr. Jeff.
Jesus Christ.
Robotic action man figures go on the rampage in this underrated kids film from Joe Dante. It never reaches the heights of Gremlins, but it has a 9-inch nails joke.
Ah.
Is it?
I mean, it's a bit difficult to reach that height when they're small soldiers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they need to be normal soldiers, then they can hit that.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a
We can
slightly
vote for that
higher
sequel.
star review here.
It's gonna be
4 stars
Four, yeah.
by J. Rhys 11.
Out of 5.
I think it's JRI's 11 actually.
Out of 5.
I believe it's out of 5. Yes.
Oh,
Best lines were delivered by the Frankenstein Gwendy dolls.
to be fair.
Gwendy. Wow.
Oh, is that what they're called? Okay.
3 stars by Eirik Floor-Dillon. 2 Wilhelm screams in one movie. A very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
It's so specific.
I
Yeah.
dislike it.
A 3 star by Corey. I mean, it has David Cross. That's like the only thing I enjoyed about it.
Wow.
3 stars and you only like David Cross. That's quite a high rating for only liking David Cross in
The
it.
fact he's only here for like what, maximum like 10 minutes. That's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the longest review for Small Soldiers I've got. This one's a 5-star review
Okay.
by Mason_JCD. I remember when I was 10, I saw this on my mate's shelf and asked to watch it, and he said, nah, because it sucks. What a dumb cunt. This queue is one of the greatest movies ever put together. Honestly, the only thing that would lift it any higher would be diving further into more Paul Verhoeven-esque satire, or even pushing things for an R rating to really punch up the themes. Has aged exquisitely, and the puppetry is so well done, along with the surprisingly subtle 3D elements that work so well together to create the toys and bring them to life. The twist angle of the soldiers being the villains was always cool to me, and the hoorah attitudes work so well against the more meek Gorgonites. Great cast, and all the characters feel so real. Just an amazing time to be had with this movie, and some fun and surprisingly poignant commentary throughout.
Nice.
Okay.
Hoorah.
I love it. He had to call his friend a dumb cunt, and they go,
Yeah,
No.
it was just like,
Jesus,
what a dumb cunt.
no, to be sophisticated enough with the answer.
Yes.
Love that.
I've got one last review for Small Soldiers by 3RRORIN.
I thought I smacked the head off the keyboard then a few times. Yeah.
This is a 5-star review. Now, I need to give you guys a very ample warning. This review may contain spoilers. Are you ready to hear this review, or would you rather me leave it be?
Oh, I don't think.
No, let's just go to the next one.
Skip to the next one? Are you sure? It's a good review.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I will read it out if you're not sure, and I will make the final decision.
It's going to be a terrible mistake, Rhys. A lot of people are going to hate you for this.
Yes,
Spoilers.
this review
Terrible
reads as
mistake.
follows. While they were declaring Brazil's independence,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I watched this film and thought it was very good. The little soldiers fighting and fighting are very funny. And that review was made on the 7th of September, 1822.
Oh. Okay. What?
That's what it says.
Fair enough.
That is some. Okay.
Brazilian independence from what? Portugal, I guess? They speak
I
Portuguese. don't
guess. Okay.
Where's the spoiler in that, though?
I don't know.
Don't-
That was the only
1822,
review
yeah,
that-
you're right. No.
Yeah,
There you go.
that was the only review that said, "Oh, this review contains spoilers." And I was like,
Don't want to tell
what's this?
people about the independence.
The United Kingdom of Portugal.
Mm.
Spoilers.
Stealing
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Next, we have the Million Monster Militia reviews.
Lovely.
Ah.
This one's recommended. Took down Bernie Sanders in one turn with the help of 3 piles of water that normally do 0 damage but were powered up by game developers.
Yep.
A canister that an anarchist turned into 11 grenades. And a small army of civilians to soldiers that were recruited from one soldier.
Wait, when did
10 out of
they
10.
say in one
will
turn?
play again. Yes, apparently.
That's the first boss you have, so they'd have 5 civilians civilians. No, I remember specifically is the first boss in that mission.
Oh, so they did that.
So
Okay.
gonna be one turn.
Oh, dear.
Debunked. Myth busted.
That was by Aaron Flippino in brackets Flipfly.
In brackets,
Close brackets.
a liar.
A liar.
Next one, we've got a recommended review. 10 out of 10 would totally fight a giant tick with a bunch of overpowered water given plus damage by a software developer and some mutant shellfish again.
I just went with sheep rather than water, but I mean, fair enough.
Sam had already mentioned that the game developers were quite
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
Brackets.
Yes, here's another one, another Steam review, recommended.
Mhm.
Monkey God never treats me right,
Oh, fucking
but I
Monkey
always
God.
go crawling
about that.
back to him.
It's so that has I think it's like a good chance that you just don't do damage on that turn. It's either half or like more than half. But then if you do damage, it's 3 times. I think it might be 2/3 chance not to do damage, and then on the next one, it'll be 1/3 chance to do 3 times damage or something, which averages out just doing normal damage. So that doesn't sound quite right. Either way, fuck me over when I used it.
Negative response.
Fair, yeah.
That's the name of the reviewer, negative response.
Okay.
Cool. I
Nice.
forgot to mention the previous one was JR,
Ah.
the overpowered water comment. JR. Then we've got these are from Itch.io, the reviews.
Oh yeah.
It's Horny Beast XD,
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
and the response was, "Aren't we all?"
They-
Comments.
Eat eggs and also plants or something.
Yes.
There you go.
And the final review I've got is tried to beat bosses with dragons and zombies, insta-dead. Tried to beat bosses with bookshelves, writers and biologists, overpowered.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And that was
I think
Rosie.
bookshelves double human damage,
Chores.
Yeah.
and then biologists do some other crap to do with. Yeah, they're getting
And I think
better
writers
damage
make more
from books
bookshelves, I
nearby.
think.
Yeah, but like up to a point, then they fuck off. I think they make books
Mm.
which then combine into bookshelves. But when they make 10 books, they vanish or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's my reviews. As
Nice.
it's a lesser-known game, I didn't get as many reviews for Million
Yeah.
Monster Militia because it's a lesser-known game. However, I do remember a bunch of the reviews mentioning it's still very positive. It's 65 reviews, so it's not a big game by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember some of the... Yeah, it's like Luck Be a Landlord. I've seen that being mentioned, the game Luck Be a Landlord, but I think it's a bit different because Luck Be a Landlord is very... It's like a slot machine type
That's what I
game.
mentioned as well when I was looking at it somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know why.
I-
Did
I've-
I say
I don't-
people or is it just similar?
Similar people.
It's got
apparently.
multiple game developers on the Steam page.
It doesn't seem like it was by the same people.
No, it
as,
doesn't.
like, so I guess
Unusual.
it's just a bit of a collaboration, which is strange because I've seen the gameplay of that and I don't really see it as that level of similar. I would still say it's more of a deck builder than that kind of game, which is why I've described it as such multiple times. So those were the reviews. What do you think the link was?
I feel I already know, but I'm probably going to get it wrong. Sound it?
Oh, well, if you think you might know, let's give Sam a guess
Yeah,
first.
so I was like, I've got it. Sam answer for me.
What do you reckon?
I actually don't know.
Have a guess. What do you think it might be? And I'll say yes or no. Generally, when it comes to this, I try to not just straight tell you what it is. I try and drop some hints because I think it's more interesting to not tell you unless you're really not going to get it.
Yeah, I got nothing so far.
Got nothing? Cool. Foley, what do you think it is?
If I heard correctly, do both involve like commando like teams versus like monsters, the creatures?
Very good guess, but that's not what it is.
How could be?
The hint is it has nothing to do with the contents.
What?
Oh, they're both pixel art, of course.
Yes, both pixel art. No, it's got nothing to do with what is contained within them.
Small
So-
soldiers, none of that.
What?
Actuals doesn't have any accents in it. Fuck.
What?
Nope.
So, God, wait. So there's nothing that actually happens in them. It's what?
Nothing to do with what is contained within.
Okay.
Making us suffer again.
What the hell does that mean then?
So
Do the
wait.
names?
Is
Oh, is that
Perhaps.
wait.
militia? It's got soldier-related things in the name, although soldiers aren't a militia.
No. More simple than that.
Small soldiers, Million Monster Militia.
Yes.
It has a name. It's based on war.
Sorry, I was like, it has a name. I thought that's where he's gonna stop.
Nope.
Sorry. Is it actually to do with the names?
It is to do with the names.
The small soldiers.
Small soldiers and Million Monster Militia.
Is it like the fact it's small, a million? I don't know.
It's got like a quantity followed by
Nope.
military-ish force.
More simple than that.
It both.
It
sol-
fucking alliterates.
It's alliteration.
It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Small soldiers,
fuck's
SS,
sake.
Million Monster Militia, MMM. That's what the connection is. They both have
Million Monster
alliterative
Militia.
titles. Yes, I was thinking that you would mention that at some point.
Yeah. Well, it's not the worst connection so far.
It fucking is. It definitely is. No, I think
Oh, sorry, the connection of I hate them both.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
better
the one.
connection.
I think the surprising one still is either the snake one or it's the fact that it's simply golf.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Space Jam. It's like, just golf.
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 So I have all
What
the
was the
things.
Mars one?
The what?
That we had Doom and we had
Oh,
whatever the fuck I played.
It's
This isn't Mars.
Doom and Magnificent Seven, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mars wasn't the
Oh,
connection.
oh yeah, I played Doom. Yeah.
They take place on Mars.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, no, yeah, it was the joke that it was Mars.
2016
Right.
reboot. We just made up the fact that it was on Mars. It was because I've realised you've got all the other ones really quickly as of late.
Yes.
Frankly, you've been very on the ball with what the connections are. So I figured I would throw you a curveball and show that it's not necessarily always going to be to do with
Content.
just what's in it.
Yeah.
Like, story-wise or plot-wise. It's
I mean,
far more
to
simple.
be fair, we got the predecessors, whatever the fuck that was called, progenitors, and that one wasn't even in the precursors, and that wasn't even in the film.
Yeah, I thought it was. Turns out it wasn't. Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy. But thank you
Yes.
just for making that
Ah,
difficult. Thank you.
Anyway, that's all we've got enough time for this podcast. I
Nice.
feel like we spent a lot more time on one of them than we did the other. But it's still fine. It's still
Yeah.
enjoyable.
It's a nice discussion. It's fun.
I mean, we
Yeah.
definitely enjoyed the small soldiers discussion. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think the more mad it is, and the more weird or strange it is, the
Yeah.
more entertaining it is, or just the more. I feel like you enjoy the more plot-heavy ones, Sam, or just the ones that are just very strange. Which is why I was like, Million Monster Militia is strange, but I guess the gameplay makes it not strange enough.
Yeah.
So I think
It
that's
also
something
it
that's
also
interesting
leans
to
into
know.
it, like it gives quirky names and descriptions and shit for everything, which I didn't find particularly funny. And it's like Bernie Sanders' dog.
I mean, Bernie Sanders' dog
Yeah.
kind of funny. Isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's
Just
what it
Bernie
was.
Sanders, it's like great. Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders' dog, what?
Grendel's pants. Fair enough.
Grendel's pants.
And the Grendel with pants.
Grendel's
It's just Grendel, but they're
pants.
wearing pants, I guess.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Grendel in pants. Here we go.
Yeah.
Put him in pants.
That's all from us for now, though. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching, and hopefully this was some level of funny.
Hope you enjoyed it. Good night, Swansea.
Nice Swansea.
Night, Swansea. We love you, Swansea.
Love you.
Thank you for watching the Janky-B-Cast. You can find Foley at his YouTube channel, Dopey Mr. Foley, and Sam at his house, Swansea.